For the thousands in attendance and the millions watching around the world, ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble!
Yeah. What's up? This that boy Coach Malachi Williams in the building. We back. New media today, USA Boxing, man. Yes, sir. We back, man. The old boy's back. We here to do it all over again, man. Today's Tuesday, I think. 2 days before Thanksgiving, right here in America. 2 days before Thanksgiving, guys. It is what it is. We getting it in. We locked and loaded. We had a good show yesterday. Pretty decent show yesterday. It was pretty good. We learned a lot yesterday. I'm gonna do a part 2 to that. We're gonna do a part 2 to that, but not today. We're gonna do a part 2 to yesterday's show, but not today. Hold on. Sorry about that, guys. Sorry about that. You know what I mean? So got a little distracted there. Something going on in the house. But yeah, man, we're going to do a part 2 to that. So if you're new to the channel, please subscribe, hit the like button. If you are new to the channel, please subscribe, hit the like button. Shout out to everyone who's listening to this podcast on Amazon Music and everyone who's listening to this podcast on Spotify. Let's get into this today. Today going to be a damn good show. Why? Because we have 2 of the best fighters in the world. And we have a potential to see this mega fight at least twice next year. Ain't nobody talking about the 2 times. Everybody talking about 2 times, right? Everybody talking about we just want to get to see the Crawford and Spence fight. That's the fight to be made. But I'm talking about it can happen at least potentially 2 times. Because if the first fight is going to be as good as we all think it's going to be, whether you believe Errol Spence is going to win or Crawford is going to win, if it's going to be as good as we think it's going to be, just imagine the rematch. Now, but I don't want to go that far with the rematch. Let's try to push this fight. I think it's our responsibility as boxing fans, the ones who love the sport of boxing, more than they love a particular fighter. I'm not talking about the fanboys of fighters. I'm not talking about fanboys of any fighter, whether you're a fanboy of Spence or Crawford or Canelo or Joshua or Fury or Charlos, any of these guys, Lomachenko. I'm not talking about fanboys. Fanboys think one way. My fighter is the greatest thing that ever walked on the planet. There was no such thing as boxing. Before my fighter stepped on the scene, my fighter would beat everybody in the world, no matter what weight class he's in, and that's it. And that's what I'm pushing. And if you say any criticism of my fighter, if you're not praising my fighter 7 days a week, 24 hours a day on your channel, then we're gonna come over here, attack, troll you, whatever the case may be. I'm not talking about those guys. Let's put that shit to the side. We're not talking about them, right? Nah, we're not doing that. You know, we don't care nothing about fanboys over here, man. I do everything in my power to run their ass away. As a matter of fact, what am I looking at? I'm looking at my soundboard, and I'm going to give everybody in the chat a round of applause. And since we're doing that, let's go ahead and do this OJ Juman style. So we're going to get into this. Shout out to Javier Ortiz.
Hey, okay.
Shout out to Jay Styles.
Hey, okay.
Shout out to Pac Roy.
Hey, okay.
Shout out to Ghetto Love.
Hey, okay.
Shout out to Hector Garcia.
Hey, okay.
Oh, yeah, and we will be accepting phone calls today. We will be accepting phone calls. I'm not going to do a whole lot of talking. I'm going to get to my points, say what I have to say, and probably about the 45 minutes to the hour mark, we will be accepting phone calls for a whole hour, for an entire hour or so, maybe an hour and 10 minutes, something like that. But for an entire hour, we will be accepting phone calls. Shout out to Rod Rib Shows.
Hey, okay.
Shout out to Carl Belton.
Hey, okay.
Shout out to Johnny Blaze. What's going on, fam?
Hey, okay.
Well, I see some of you guys came early. I was here earlier. Shout out to Halim in the building.
Hey, okay.
Shout out to Mr. Calderon, Novienta Tres.
Hey, okay.
Shout out to Philly Fly. What's going on, fam?
Hey, okay.
Shout out to Halim once again.
Hey,
shout out to
okay.
DC Nardo. What's happening, bro?
Hey,
shout out to Ariel Espinal.
Hey,
shout out to Puerto Rican Ron. What's up, baby?
Hey,
shout out to Casual Bass Guy. What's happening?
Hey, okay.
Shout out to Punch Perfect Boxing. What's going on, fam?
Hey, okay.
Shout out to Matt Magnificent. What the lick read?
Hey, okay.
Shout out to Ariel Espinal. Shout out to Zuami. What's going on, fam? Shout out to Raypax Trucking Company. But remind me when I used to be on the road, when I used to be out there driving on the road all over the country, man. You know, I drove for Swift, drove for Knight, CRST. It was Stevenson Trucking Company out there in Texas. Yeah, man, I've been some of everywhere. Over throughout the country. Shout out to Jay Styles.
Hey, okay.
Shout out to Chuck Supremacy.
Hey, okay.
Shout out to Paul Evans and Ava.
Hey, okay.
Shout out to George Ace. What's going on, fam?
Hey, okay.
Shout out to Major Key Boxing. What up?
Hey, okay.
Shout out to who else we have, man? Shout out to Thomas Jones. What's going on, bro?
Hey, okay.
Shout out to Nelly Content Entertainment, ENT.
Hey, okay.
Shout out to the Queen Lisa Bales.
Hey, okay.
Shout out to Javon Soto. What's happening, bro?
Hey, okay.
Shout out to Kelly Malia. What's going on?
Hey, okay.
Alex, what's happening?
Hey, okay.
Shout out to who else we have in the building? Batman Boxing Talk. That boy out of DC. What's going on, fam?
Hey, okay.
Shout out to, let's see, Bruce Goes in the building, the OG, double OG, triple OG, quadruple OG, Bruce Goes.
Hey, okay.
Shout out to Memphis 10. What's up, man? Hey,
okay.
man, I'm so hurt, man. Man, Memphis 10, I'm so hurt, man. The boy, the young brother, young Dolph, man, got smoked like that, man. God damn, dog. Let's go though. Shout out to Alex. What's going on, fam? Shout out to who else we have, man? I think that's it. Roy Smith in the building. Let's see. Who else we have, guys? I think that's it. Riri. Is it Rini? I guess that's how to pronounce your name. And that's it. Let's get into this. And my main man Hector Garcia. What's going on, fam? Now, let's make it do what it do. Let's make it do what it do, right? Now, Crawford and Spence. No more beef. No more beef. This fight needs to happen now. When I say now, I mean next year. I mean, the sport of boxing thrives off of what, guys? Seeing big fights happen. We're going to talk about a lot of things. We're going to talk about Bob Arum's interview. We're going to talk about Terence Porter Crawford's pay-per-view numbers. We're going to talk about a lot of things today. And then I'm going to accept calls about the 45-minute to an hour mark, right? Now, Crawford versus Spence is the fight that us boxing fans want to see next. And this is the fight that we deserve. You see what I'm saying? Now, for far too long, we have fell victim to the politics of boxing, only to be disappointed time and time again. There has been a divide in the sport of boxing when it comes to Errol Spence fans and Terence Crawford fans. It's been a divide. We're going to talk about that, right? What do I mean by that? Well, on the YTBC YouTube boxing channels, some boxing fans believe that in order to like Errol Spence, you have to hate Terence Crawford. This is true. You even have certain YouTube channels, or have, maybe they're still doing it. You even had certain YouTube channels that was feeding this bullshit belief by calling Terence Crawford some of the most racist names known to man, all because of the promotional company that he was signed to. This is facts. I know one in particular that is still doing it from the other community. Now, that in essence is what fueled the anti-Errol Spence hate from Crawford fans and even maybe some Crawford fanboys. For every action, there's a reaction. Some pro-Crawford fans believe that in order for you to like Terence Crawford, you have to do what? Hate Errol Spence. So as I said before, that created a divide. That created unnecessary animosity between two black fighters and their fan bases on the YTBC. Yes, we're going to address the elephant in the room today. I am not here to play today or sugarcoat anything. If you know anything about me, I would say what's on my mind, and I'm not good at holding my tongue, and I'm really not good at sugarcoating. We're going to cut straight to the bullshit today. I know these guys very well, and I know you guys very well. I know you very well. I've been studying you. That's what I do, right? When I say you guys, I'm not talking about brothers and sisters in the chat, the New Media Today USA Boxing family. I'm saying these guys out there. Very familiar with it now. Now I'm familiar with it. Okay? You see what I'm saying? But now there's a new day. And the tables have turned as it relates to this situation with Errol Spence and Terence Crawford. Crawford is no longer with Top Rank. So everybody who was calling him Top Rank Toby, I wonder what they still call him Top Rank Toby. And now he's aligned himself with MTK Global's very own, sorry about that, guys, Daniel Kenningham. Now, there are some channels, they don't like Daniel Kenningham. They say he's a mobster, he's a criminal, he's a crook, he's this, he's that. They don't like him. And that's fine. I don't know the guy. I don't know him to like him or not like him. I don't know nothing about the guy. So I can't speak on that. Terence Crawford has his own promotional company. I think it was him and Bo Mack. He's in a different position now, today, than he was a few days ago. Crawford has elected to stay a free agent. That's what he's going to do. I knew this 6.5 months ago. I was telling my big brother Shelton Moore that because of the information that I received directly from someone who's right there. Again, Crawford has elected to become a free agent, and he has a lot of options. Errol Spence, on the other hand, he's with the PBC situation, so he still is going to have to do everything through Al Heyman. That's why they say call Al. Al is the guy. He has his fighters on a tight leash over there, right? Spence, in this particular situation, he doesn't have the freedom that Crawford has now. So he just can't make fights or this particular fight happen because of the position that he's in, right? Now, it will be up to Al Heyman and the PBC in order to make this fight happen now. Spence and his fans cannot use the excuse, sorry about that, guys, that Crawford is on the wrong side of the street. Again, Spence and his fans cannot use the excuse that Crawford is on the wrong side of the street. Ain't no more street. The Bob Arum Street, Top Rank Street is gone. We heard for years the reason why this fight ain't happened because Top Rank Toby is over that side of Top Rank, and he ducking, and he don't want to fight on Spence, and Bob Arum ain't making the fight happen. We've been hearing that for years, right? Guess what? Bob Arum ain't there no more. So now what? Again, it will be up to Al Heyman and the PBC now in order to make this fight happen. You see what I'm saying? That's the only way it's going to happen now. The excuses is over. And the ball is now in the PBC court. Call Al, right? Al Heyman is going to have to pay Crawford the type of money that he wants in order to make this fight happen. Of course, something that's reasonable, of course. He ain't gonna get no Canelo money, but Crawford don't have to pay no promoter, so he's going to get a lion's share of the money from a promotional standpoint and from a fighter standpoint. Fight on a fight-by-fight basis. That's how Sugar Ray and Sugar Ray and them used to do it. Hagler and Hearn, that's how they used to do it, right? When they worked with Top Rank. You see what I'm saying? So Al Heyman, the ball in your court now. Crawford's stock has went up since he stopped Sean Porter in Las Vegas. And everybody in the sport of boxing knows it. His stock went up. If you are a fan of Terence Crawford, you should not be forced to hate Errol Spence because you like Crawford. Sorry about that. Because you like Crawford. And if you are a fan of Errol Spence, you should not be forced to hate Terence Crawford because you like Errol Spence. I should be able, as a boxing fan, and someone who loves the sport of boxing, to love both fighters, even though I favor one fighter over the other in a head-to-head matchup. There are both of these guys are my brothers in the sport of boxing at the end of the day. And us boxing fans need to see this fight next in the welterweight division. Now, you guys know me. I don't believe in protecting fighters. If you feel that your fighter is as good as you say he is, then the only way we're going to find out, these two fighters in the welterweight division are going to have to fight each other. That's the only way we're going to know. We can believe that. I believe that, if Spence get in there, he'll work Crawford body and knock him out and smoke him out. Or I believe that, when Crawford get in there with Spence, he'll touch him on the chin, drop him, and get him up out of there. But guess what? We can believe all the shit we want to believe, but we will not know unless they fight each other. Belief is nothing unless it's proven. You can believe something, but to see proof of it, removes all doubt. You see what I'm saying? Now, as for the black boxing fans like myself on the YTBC, this is directly to the black boxing fans, because this is what I've been seeing. We should be able to love both Terence Crawford and Errol Spence without some kind of goddamn civil war going on the internet. That's what I've been seeing, right? Let's move past the other side of the street mentality and force Al Heyman and the PBC to make this fight happen now. There's no more Bob Arum. There's no more Top Rank. And there should be no more excuses for the PBC Witness Protection Program fans and the fanboys of Errol Spence. Hashtag call out. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe, hit the like button. If you are new to the channel, please subscribe and hit the like button. Shout out to everyone who's listening to this podcast on Spotify and Amazon Music. Let's get into this. Now, according to Kevin Aoli, the pay-per-view numbers came out and well, they haven't came out yet. Bob Arum said the numbers are not official. They have not come out yet. But apparently Kevin Aoli knows something that Bob Arum doesn't know. So let's take that with a grain of salt. But the rumored report is that Crawford and Porter did 190,000 pay-per-view buys. Some people say, man, that's a flop. Terence Crawford ain't no draw. Well, Crawford's really not a draw. Porter's not really not a draw neither. That is true, right? That is true. But when you look at the simple fact that, hey, they had a pay-per-view event fight that was sold out. The venue was sold out, which is good. So they made a lot of money on the live gate. They made a lot of money on the live gate, right? So that did good. But 2 weeks ago, we had a Canelo Alvarez and Caleb Plant fight. As you know, a whole lot of people spent a lot of money to watch Canelo Alvarez. 2 weeks later, we got a Crawford and Sean Porter fight. So you got to take that into consideration. I was hoping the numbers would be more like 250 to 300,000. I'm not gonna lie, guys. I was hoping that, but then I didn't think about, damn, well, this fight is coming off the heels of a Canelo fight. It's kind of hard to put a pay-per-view right behind Canelo. He's the cash cow. He's the guy right now, right? And then the simple fact that, you know, Terence Crawford, he has the personality of a cardboard. So that's my favorite fighter now, but he has a personality of a cardboard. He didn't really do much to help promote the fight. And then Sean Porter, Sean Porter is Sean Porter. He didn't sell the fight really neither. And then there's no beef with these two guys. It wasn't like with Canelo, Canelo and Caleb Plant. They pushed Canelo pushed Caleb Plant on the stage, and then Caleb Plant slapped Canelo, and Canelo came back, and you know what I mean? So that was drama behind that. There was no drama. You know, in America, we love what? Drama. In America, we love drama. Sean Porter and Terence Crawford, they was friends and all this crazy, but that's neither here nor there. If this coming off the heels of the fight, I take all of that into consideration. So depending on what side of the street you on, if you hate Crawford, you're gonna say, yeah, I don't like him and yada 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 yada. I'm not here to change your mind on none of that shit. Care nothing about you fanboys. I hate you. Care nothing about you trolls. I dislike you. I care about fans of the sport of boxing. The other side of the street shit, I'm not into that. I'm not into the one group of black fans who love Spence, hate Crawford, and the other group of black fans that love Crawford, hate Spence, and we going at everybody going at each other about some bullshit. Errol Spence and Terence Crawford are both millionaires. As boxing fans, it's not our job to be fanagers or promoters. It's not our job to sit back and say, yeah, man, I feel like that this fighter should my fighter should be getting paid 80% of the lion's share, and the other guy should be getting paid 20% because of this and that. Sit your ass down. It's not your job to be the fanager. It's not your job. It's not your job to be the promoter. It's my job as a boxing content creator to put as much pressure on the PBC if Bob Arum was still involved, it would have been Bob Arum. But it's my job to make sure that me being one of the fans of the sport of boxing, let's put pressure and make this fight happen next year. No one is going to outdo Canelo Alvarez, so let's forget about that. This ain't got shit to do with Canelo. This is about Terence Crawford and Errol Spence. I like both fighters. I favor Crawford. You like Errol Spence. You favor Spence. There's nothing wrong with that. We should be able to have a civilized dialogue without the bullshit. Right? I want to see both of these dudes get paid. I want to see both of these dudes, get the accolades and the money they deserve. Us as boxing fans, this would be our Roberto Duran, Sugar Ray Leonard. This would be our Sugar Ray and Tommy Hearns. This would be our Hearns and Hagler moment. If you love the sport of boxing more than you love a particular fighter, why would you not want to see this fight happen? Why would you do everything in your power to run interference? Oh, I don't think that he should get such and such. See, this the same shit that happened with Wilder and Anthony Joshua. Now, I wasn't online at the time. So I don't know what was going on YouTube, but I remember this shit like it was yesterday. And I was talking to my sister today, Lisa Bells, and we was talking about that too. Seen it happen with Wilder and Joshua. One group of fanboys, oh hell no, we don't like that dude. Yeah, Joshua need to be realistic with such and such. And then Joshua fanboy side, no, hell no, Wilder tripping, and he need to be happy with this and that. Guess what? I'm not no goddamn manager nor promoter, and we still ain't get the goddamn fight. Because everybody felt like we need to take sides instead of taking the side of boxing. Instead of saying, hey, Joshua, Wilder, look, man, we really need to make this fight happen, dog. Put all that personal shit aside. Let's make this fight happen, man. This is going to be big for the sport. All this side of the street I can't do that. Because now it's too much division now. And when there's division, nothing can come together. When there's division. He said, play the organ music, Coach. Church, that was funny. But you get what I'm saying, though. He says, just do the group round betting. Let's pay out. But you get what I'm saying, though. He says, Spence versus Paul wouldn't be on par with those other fights. That's like comparing Wilder to Fury 3. I don't know what you're talking about. I guess you're talking about something else. Ghost says Spence needs a tune-up or two before he faces Crawford. Nah, Spence said he don't need a tune-up. That's what he says. He says he doesn't need a tune-up. That's what he says. You know what I mean? Hey, he knows his body better than anyone. You know what I mean? So he says, it is what it is. I'm making bread off of these fixed fights anyway. Oh, he talking about the fixed fights, huh? Graham Taylor said, can you imagine if Hagler and Hearns fans back in the day trying to make up excuses for them not to fight? Or Ben versus Eubank fans? Bro, this is ridiculous. I've never seen this before in my life. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, like Graham Taylor, you hit the nails right on the head. You hit the nail right on the head. What if Hagler and Hearns fans was talking about, oh no, well he need to get this and you you on the wrong side of the street and you got to be realistic. Like, bro, it ain't our job to be trying to negotiate this shit. It's our job to say, we want to see this goddamn fight. We want to see this goddamn fight. Shout out to my brother Jawan.
Hey, okay.
He said, riding with Texas, but boy, look impressive. You're supposed to ride with Texas because you're from Texas. There's nothing wrong with that, Jawan. There's nothing wrong with that. What I want to do is, I want to close the gap in the divide, and let's see what we can do. Can we at least do our part to make this happen? Let's put all the other shit aside now. Let's put all this other shit aside. as you guys know, I told you guys that I watch a lot of content now because by me being a content creator, now lately, probably the past 2 weeks, I've been watching everybody's. So I watch pretty much everybody's channel for the most part. And I study trends and I look and see what's going on over here, what's going on over there, whatever the case may be. Oh, this is the narrative that they're pushing. Oh, this is the narrative that this guy's pushing. He's consistent. And this guy's over here, yeah, he's consistent with doing what he want to do. And so I get that. But there's 3 channels in particular that I want to give a shout out to. I don't know these brothers. Never met them before in my life. And you guys know I talked a whole lot of shit about the Alphabet Boy community. I talked a whole lot of stuff about, I think I kind of like generalized them because I didn't know how many members there were of them, right? I didn't know how many members there were. I just, thought it was just maybe like the 3-4 that I talked about, the 3-4 and that's it. Trying to find out there's a plethora of them. So I'm not, but I say all that to say this. Going into 2022, we're going to have to make some damn decisions as boxing fans on the YTBC. Do we want to see the best fights, the best fight the best, or do we want to put our fighters in the witness protection program? What do I mean by that? If you are a fanboy of a particular fighter and you are on the internet going around trolling other people's channels and sitting back saying, well, my fighter, he don't deserve to fight my fighter because my fighter with the PBC or my fighter with Top Rank, or he with Matchroom and my fighter got more fans and, my fighter got more ice and he got to fight 20 niggas before he can get the ring with my fighter. If you're doing that, guess what? I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. But I want to give a shout out to Blue Blood Sports TV, 7-8 Sports TV, and Trill Boxing Talk. Those guys been putting out some good content, and they're pretty much been spot on with their message as it relates to Crawford and Spence being next. I'm always going to give props and credit where credit is due. That's the type of person I am. I'm going to give you props and credit where credit is due. I got to give a shout out to those boys though. These past videos that you guys been dropping, live shows, and I watched them. They've been spot on. The message has been spot on. And I think that us as boxing fans and content creators, we are in a prime position to see some of the best fights that we're going to see in a long time. If the trajectory that we have seen thus far this year with some of the good fights that we have been getting, if what we have seen thus far this year is a sign of what is to come next year, boy, we in a good spot. But the only way we're going to get there and do that is we as boxing fans, we're going to have to close rank and make this shit happen. Shout out to Denzel Brown for dropping that quarter of a bam dub on your boy.
Hey, Leroy.
Super chat received.
Playtime's over, boy.
He said Ugas and Spence will most likely be next. I don't know about Ugas and Spence, my brother. I really don't know about Ugas and Spence because I'm hearing the WBA is making Ugas fight some other dude. Shout out to Milani for dropping that quarter of a bam dub on your boy.
Hey, Leroy.
Super chat received.
Playtime's over, boy.
So that's what I want to talk about today. The only way we're going to grow the sport of boxing, guys, we're going to have to close ranks. We're going to have to close ranks and make this shit happen. That's what we're gonna have to do. Let's give other people. Shout out to Victor Bada. Shout out to the Chicano Prophet. Shout out to the Queen Lisa Bales, James Hickey, UGC Flame in the building, El Bohemio, Philip Flies, a couple of people I haven't seen yet. Victor Bada, Brian Flores, what's going on, fam? You know, other people. The Queen Arlette is in the building. She's blessed us with her and Lisa Bales with their presence. You know what I mean? Yeah, man. Yeah, that's so. I want to give those guys a shout out. I really do. Shout out to who else in here? Richard Lopez, Antonio Mosley, Bruce Goals, Jeff Lucietta. I be stroking. Who else here? Who else here? Brother, he'll say LDBC salute. Okay. Okay. Shout out to them boys over there. Shout out to Zoe Santos. Who else we have in the building? Bacon and eggs. I'm gonna open up the phone lines in a minute, guys. I'm gonna open up the phone lines in a minute. Martin Ramos. Yeah, man. James Brown, what's happening, bro? Yeah, 913 Boxer. I think we got everybody. Milani. It's getting kind of okay. It's getting big, picking up a little bit in here now. J Mill, what's going on? And Teach, what's happening? AJ Fanboy, what's up? Okay. Now, I say all that to say this. Us as boxing fans, we are grown men and women, right? And as a content creator, you have a lot of channels. They put out a lot of content. They've been doing this stuff a long time before I have. So I also want to say this before I show the receipts. Coach Malachi Williams, New Media Today USA Boxing. I am standing on the shoulders of those that came before me. What do I mean by that? I am standing on the shoulders of those that came before me. Pause. What do I mean by that? There are guys who've been doing this shit before I stepped on the scene. And they've been doing it for years. So I acknowledge that whatever success that we have as a boxing community, New Media Today USA Boxing, whatever success that we have, you guys have helped the channel grow. A lot of you guys who are subscribers to my channel, you guys have been on this scene and the YouTube scene in the boxing for a long time. I call you guys my New Media Today USA Boxing family. You guys have been on the scene a long time before I stepped on the scene. You have given me your support. Some of you have started out with me and have unsubscribed. Some were not subscribers and have become subscribers. Some who watch my shows every day who are not subscribers, but they watch every day. And I appreciate that. But there are channels out there like the Boxing Voices and the UGC Flames and the Moni Browns and the Dante's Boxing Nations and the Eagles and the Blue Bloods and the 7A Sports and the Trill Boxing Talks and the Blood Boxing, Retro Boxing, the documentaries. And there's a lot of channels out there who, Sporting Icons and Showbiz and Kurt. There's a lot of channels out there who have been doing this before me. So I stand before you guys today as a person who is standing on the shoulders of those who laid the foundation in order for me to stand here and speak today about the sport of boxing. So whether I agree with some of those brothers or not, I respect the hell out of all of them. Why do I respect the hell out of all of them? Because those guys laid the foundation that I'm standing on right now. And I'm through with the bullshit that I see going on online. I want to see the best fighters fight the best fighters. I don't want no PBC witness protection program. I don't want no top rank witness protection program. Because you damn sure protecting Oscar Valdez from fighting Tank Davis. From fighting Shakur Stevenson, Bob Arum. I'm going to get on your ass in a minute too. We got an opportunity here, guys, to take this shit to another level. And guess what? We control the narrative because the fans, we putting pressure. We online, what you see online? I want to see Spence versus Crawford. I want to see Crawford versus Spence. Right now, everybody want this fight more than ever. Guess what? Remember the Manny Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather fiasco. people was calling for that fight, and it didn't happen till 5 years later. Will history repeat itself? Will history repeat itself, or will we recognize, damn, man, have we learned anything from the past? Let's put this bullshit, our differences aside, and let's see what we can do to make this shit happen. True, true, true. I'm on the side of the street of the sport of boxing. I'm not with no cliques, no crews, none of that. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with being with a clique, being with a crew. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm saying I don't want to be involved in the politics, the bullshit that I see going on. I watch everybody now. I used to watch like 4 or 5 channels, but now I watch everybody. Ring IQ is one of my favorites. Shout out to Julius, man.
To this day.
You know what I mean? One of them. It's a whole bunch of them, though. Shout out to Punch Perfect Boxing as well, Lady Shan. All those guys. Everybody who doing their thing to grow this sport. I wish that we could stay focused on growing the sport, but we got a whole lot of we got fanboys and trolls, and between the fanboys and the trolls, you know what I mean? And then sometimes you go to someone else's page and they be in a good mood, and then somebody, they read a comment or see a troll and they get mad and just going off on their show. When you see that happens, it's because that content creator is irritated of the fact that you got a troll coming in, saying shit, throwing him off his game. That's what that is. This is why I smoke 2 joints before I come on this show. I gotta smoke, bro. I don't smoke I don't smoke more weed than I ever smoked in my life since I started this shit. Well, I have anxiety attacks, so I smoke because of anxiety. But before I come on this show, there's a mandatory that I smoke 2 joints before I come on this show. You would know if I haven't smoked or not, because if you see me looking real irritated and just going off on the fanboys in the chat, you would know I haven't smoked anything. I'm very quick-tempered. Talk a lot of shit. Got it from my mama, Betty Jean. It is what it is. But anyways, let's do this, guys. Let's do this. But let's see what we can do to grow the sport, man. I said we're going to open up the phone line. We're going to open up the phone lines in about 10 minutes, maybe about 15 minutes. Let's go here, though. Let's go here, right? So I want to grow this sport, dog. We got an opportunity, man. No more beef. No more beef. Al Heyman, let's make this fight happen, brother. Let's make this fight happen. King KO said, Spence scared of Bud. They need to make Bud versus. I don't think Spence is scared of Bud, to be honest with you, my brother. I don't think Spence is scared of nobody. I don't think Bud is scared of nobody. You know what I mean? He says Taylor is a good, but Crawford is amazing. Yeah, I was thinking about the Josh Taylor fight over there in the UK, but Terence Crawford said the only thing on his mind is he want to fight Errol Spence. He said that recently now. I know what he said at the fight, but I guess he thought about it. He wants to fight Errol Spence and he wants to fight Ugas. That's what I want to hear. He said, Coach, where's your Josh Taylor shirt? Oh, that's upstairs. The MTK Global shirt? Yeah, that's upstairs. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe, hit the like button. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe, hit the like button. Let's see. Let me go ahead and address the chat, man. Yeah, I don't think nobody's afraid of nobody. Kelly Malia said, Undefeated Podcast UK doing big things. Okay. Now, there's a lot of them. I'm not familiar with everybody. There's some good channels out there, though. And there's some bullshit channels out there as well. There's some bullshit channels out there as well, but I'm not here to talk about that. He says, I would rather see Josh Taylor versus Crawford. Spence is washed after the car crash and drinking. I won't say he's washed. We won't know. We won't know until we see him fight again. We won't know until we see him have another fight. You know what I mean? We won't know till then. Crawford versus Taylor. I believe that'll be big in the UK. I really do. He says, I think Spence is more afraid to lose his oath than fighting Bud. Yeah, I don't think so. These fighters are fight. Listen, bro, these guys are prize fighters. Now, there are some fighters that do duck. There are some fighters that do duck. Now, I ain't gonna lie. But listen, I'm not gonna sit here and say Errol Spence is a. I'm not gonna say that. I know, I know I say big fish called Al, and I like saying that shit. That shit funny. That shit is funny. Shout out to Will.
Hey, okay.
Dropping that $2. Bam, super chat on your boy.
Hey, Leroy.
Super chat received.
Playtime's over, boy.
He said, great show as always, Coach. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We're going to get into this. We're going to look at these receipts. Hand down, man down. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Ain't nothing wrong with that, my brother. Nothing wrong with that at all. All I'm saying is, we should be able to love Errol Spence and Terence Crawford. Now, if you're from Texas and you're supposed to ride with Errol Spence, and if Errol Spence is your favorite fighter, it ain't nothing wrong with that. But we don't have to hate Terence Crawford to like Errol Spence. Why? It's not like Terence Crawford has done anything personal to any of us, or vice versa. It's not. We don't have to hate Errol Spence to like Terence Crawford. It's not like Errol Spence has done anything personal to any of us. So we don't have to hate neither one of them. We can favor them. We can talk shit online. You know what I mean? But we don't have to get into the hostilities and the animosities behind these fighters. We don't need to do that. And what I want to do, I want to help push this fight and make this fight grow. And I want to do my part. From this point forward, I'm gonna do my part. I'm gonna put my best foot forward. I'm gonna have some good days and some bad days. We all do. We all do. Hey, my brother right here, he say, no Canelo talk. That's right, no Canelo talk. No Canelo talk until his fight comes up. Oh man, you feel me? So he says, but let's keep going. Let's look this up, right? I thought this was kind of funny, man. We had Crawford right here, man, doing the interview, and they're asking him about. I want you guys to hear this. Hold on. Make sure I got this up. He said the guy asked him stupid questions.
No, Canelo not gonna come down here, but we was thinking maybe you can come to 168.
So he's laughing at the fact that these reporters do ask dumbass questions. The reporter, he was doing an interview in his ear. The reporter asked him, would he think about moving up to fight Canelo? Terence Crawford just got through fighting Sean Porter. Oh, this was before the Sean Porter fight. They asked him about would he fight Canelo. For what? Canelo is 168 pounder. And out there, we ain't supposed to be talking about Canelo. But these fools in the mainstream media asking this man, he has a fight coming up. He has a fight coming up with Sean Porter, and they asking him questions about Canelo. So it's not even the mainstream media is even obsessed, right? You gonna move up to fight Canelo? He said, no. Is Canelo gonna move down to fight me? Of course not. So why ask these dumbass questions? These reporters kill me. So they just kill me, dog. They kill me, dog. AJ fanboy say PBC fanboys turning into body language experts saying that laugh was nervous laughter and it means that he ain't confident. Yeah, listen, these are some of the same guys who said that, Crawford rumor has it that Crawford got knocked out in sparring. These are the same dudes that said rumor has it Tyson Fury got knocked out in sparring before the Wilder fight. These are the same dudes. Shout out to KRL.
Hey, okay.
For dropping that quarter of a bam dub on your boy.
Hey, Leroy.
Super chat received.
Playtime's over, boy.
He said little something for the support, 2 joint minimum. Y'all gotta have a 2 joint minimum. See, that's all I'm saying, bro. That's all I'm saying. Let's move on. Now, according to Kevin Aoli, guys, Kevin Aoli said that Crawford and the Porter fight did, as a matter of fact, I got some I need to cover. They did 100,000. They did 190,000 pay-per-view buys. Also, I was watching Fred Barbershop Conversation interview with Bob Arum. Let's look at some of the notes that I took, guys. When they talked about, Fred asked Bob Arum about Terence Crawford, him leaving and stuff like that, and he broke down just some of the business things. Bob Arum said that he's lost money on Crawford fights. Every Crawford fight that he's had since he's been at the welterweight division, he said he's lost money. He said he paid Crawford too much money, but it wasn't Crawford's fault. Crawford got the bag at Top Rank. This for all you Top Rank Toby guys. Crawford got the bag at Top Rank. Top Rank paid him the most money than most guaranteed money than any welterweight in the welterweight division receiving, even right now. That's what Bob Arum was complaining about. He was not able to market Crawford. And then I'm not gonna lie, Crawford don't do himself any justice by his personality. That's my favorite fighter, but I can't criticize him. He has a terrible, I'm not gonna say terrible, just a boring, bland, just not interested, not want to be here personality. It's kind of hard to get fans to buy into you when you have a personality like that. But that's neither here nor there, right? You see what I'm saying? So, he did say that the Porter and Crawford fight was sold out, but the final pay-per-view numbers have not been tallied yet. Kevin Naoli reported that Crawford and Porter did 190,000 pay-per-view buys. My question is, do you have any receipts on that, Kevin Naoli? Bob Arum said the numbers have not been tallied yet. So where is Kevin Naoli getting this from? That's all I want to know, right? That's all I want to know. I'm not even going to talk about that guy. As it relates, I'm not even going to talk about that guy because this is dealing with, he asked him a Canelo question. I don't even want to address that. Nah, these are more Canelo questions. I don't want to address that. Now, Bob Arum talked about Teofimo Lopez. Bob said that him and Teofimo Lopez, they have an understanding, guys, that from this point forward, Teo will fight the next best possible opponent that Top Rank has to offer. And that Teofimo will be playing no more games as it relates to making his fights go to purse bid and stuff like that. Didn't say anything about Teo and Lomachenko fighting next, but let's move on from there. Bob said that he spoke with Leonard Ellerby, and he plans on sitting down with Leonard after Tank fights, what's the dude name? Pitbull Cruz? Isaac Pitbull Cruz. Why he want to sit down and talk to Leonard Ellerby? He says that he want to see, can he make the Teofimo Lopez and what the dude name? Tank Davis fight. He said he want to see, can he make the Teofimo Lopez and Tank Davis fight? This is what Bob Arum said. Notice he didn't say Teofimo and Lomachenko. Right? I don't think that that fight ain't going to happen because Floyd Mayweather and them not going to let Tank take any high-risk fights, in my opinion. In my opinion. There was a Eddie Hearn question in this interview, guys. I want you guys to go check it out. It's a good interview. Not gonna lie, it's a good interview. About 45 minutes. Bob Arum said that Eddie Hearn is not stupid as it relates to the U.S. market. He just doesn't understand the U.S. market at all. And that Eddie Hearn has diarrhea of the mouth. He said Eddie Hearn does not know when to shut up. And this is hurting his relationships in the sport of boxing with promoters in the U.S. What did he mean by that? Because as you know, Eddie Hearn do a lot of goddamn talking. Remember the Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder fight? Tyson Fury and Tyson Fury, Anthony Joshua fiasco. He kept giving updates and updates. We talked to the Saudis. I sent Tyson Fury this contract. This how much money it's going to be for. Instead of keeping his goddamn mouth closed. This was the Eddie Hearn question. So I'm just giving you highlights of the interview. So if you guys want to check it out. He talked about, Bob Arum talked about Tyson Fury. Bob Arum says Fury and Wilder were fights that were profitable to him. So he said he made a little profit on all three Fury and Wilder fights. He said, but the fights that Fury had in the U.S. outside of Wilder, I think he fought Oda Wallin and Sefer Seferi and some other guy, he said he lost a lot of money on those fights. Bob said that, on to Shakur Stevenson, Bob said that Shakur Stevenson would not be fighting Oscar Valdez next. Oscar Valdez is in the top-ranked witness protection program, and his job is not to get anywhere near Shakur Stevenson. Gotta call it the way I see it. Gotta call it the way I see it. Right? Bob says that he would like for Shakur Stevenson to fight who? Lomachenko. Lomachenko is a 135-pounder. Shakur Stevenson is a 130-pounder. He just moved up to this weight class. He just got his belt. So now you want him to move up to 135 to fight Lomachenko. No, sir, it doesn't work that way. Lomachenko ass should be signed. Lomachenko ass should be fighting Teofimo Lopez next. But I wouldn't mind seeing Teofimo fight Tank Davis as well. But Shakur Stevenson should not be forced, any way, form, or fashion, to move up right now to go fight Lomachenko. When you got Oscar Valdez right there, who ducking? We know what? Who's in the Bob M top-ranked witness protection program? That's right. Bob M said that Teofimo Lopez will stay at 135 to fight Tank Davis or Devin Haney. That's some good news. So we got some good fights that could potentially be happening next year. But if not, he would rather, Teofimo Lopez will move up to 140. So if Teofimo moves up to 140, more than likely he's going to fight Josh Taylor. That's going to be the fight that they may try to make next year. Because Josh Taylor's not going to get Terence Crawford right now. Bob M said that he never heard of the guy that this is a Canelo question. I'm not going to address any Canelo questions right now. Bob M also said that he has the receipts because that Al Heyman knows what he's doing. He said Al Heyman knows what he's doing over there at the PBC. Y'all go check that interview out. Those are just some of the highlights. You got Oscar Valdez right there on featherweight, and Bob talking about Shakur Stevenson moving up to fight Lomachenko. For what? Why? Shakur Stevenson calling out Oscar Valdez. Bob, every time you talk about Oscar Valdez, Bob deflecting. So he is protecting Oscar Valdez. It is my belief that if Oscar Valdez was to step 1 foot in the ring with Shakur Stevenson, he would get the brakes beat off of him. He'll be lucky if he lands 3 punches. So now we have an opportunity, guys, to push this sport like none other than before. None other than before. Let's keep going. I want to show you guys one more thing. As I said before, we got to keep Sometime Thurman. I call him Sometime because he's calling out Terence Crawford now. For what? Why? I don't know. But I want to break this down though. Let's look at this. Remember, guys, we was talking about what the fighters make, right? Remember we was talking about that. What the fighters make. How much money they make, right? So somebody, I think, I'll shout out the chick for sending me this.
Hey, okay.
Shout out the chick for sending me this. This is a good article. How much money do boxers actually make? Let's pull this up. Guys. I know since we got a lot of fanagers out there who say that Errol Spence should get 80% and Crawford should be lucky to get 10% or 5% or 1% or the other percent or this percent of all the other percents or whatever percent it is. Since we got these fanagers out there, right? Let's break down some fanager. Let's break down some fanager language, right? So this guy says, and this article was written by Sean Ells, right? So you've seen how Floyd Mayweather lives, and you want to know if it's normal. If most boxers actually make good money. Boxing is notorious for having high levels of inequality when it comes to fight purses. Shout out the chick for sending me this. Where the top 1% of boxers collect 95% of all prize money. Oh, you don't hear me though. Let's look at it. Let me go ahead and lean to the side. Let me shoulder lean with this. I'm having my damn neck hurt, and I was doing shoulders and pulled the muscle in my damn neck doing shoulders. How much money does boxers make in general? What boxers are paid at the amateur and professional levels? I guess I meant to say how much boxers are paid at the amateur and professional levels. How much the big pay-per-view fights make. How some boxers can earn so much more than others. If boxing is a good career choice. Comparing the earnings from the biggest events in boxing and MMA. Let's get into this, guys. Do boxers make good money? Let's look at it. According to this article, the sad truth is that most boxers are broke. The sad truth that most boxers are broke. This is facts. Of the total income a boxer makes, an estimated 33.3% goes to the manager. So I know some of you fanagers on YouTube, when you sit down and like to talk about your favorite fighter should get A, B, and C, and D, unfortunately, your YouTube negotiations does not reflect in you're getting a cut of the fighter's purse, unfortunately. So this guy right here says that the sad truth is that most boxers are broke. Of the total income a boxer makes, an estimated 33% goes to the manager, and 25% goes to the promoter, and 10% goes to the trainer. Let's look at this right here. Now, depending on which article you read, some say that 33% goes to the promoter. Well, Don King had his contract set up where he got 33%, and his son, which was the manager, got 50%. As you can see, this contract right here is draconian at best. But the ones that Don King had was deplorable. At an estimated 33.3% goes to the manager. Call Al. And 25% goes to the promoter. TGB Promotions, Tom Brown, right? And 10% goes to the trainer. Whether it's Derrick James, whether it's Bo Mack and crew, or whether whoever it is, right? Leaving less than 32% of earnings for the boxer before taxes. Once the manager and the promoter and the trainer get their cut of the gross earnings, it leaves the fighter less than 32% of his earnings before the goddamn taxes. And if you're a fighter who like the ball, who like to be in the club, all in the videos, taking selfies, look like I'm blinging, look, and you like to buy out the ball. I'm buying out the ball. All my boys, they balling. I'm riding around the country in private jets. You might not have as much money as you think you do. Especially if you don't understand how this game goes. Remember, protect yourself at all times outside of the ring before you can protect yourself at all times inside of the ring. Let's continue. Leaving the fighter with less than 32% of his earnings. Let's keep going. Unfortunately, boxing isn't a highly profitable sport for most boxers. Let's keep going. Those are crazy numbers, right? Considering only 2% of a promotion's purse is allocated to 70% of fighters, the pie is already extremely small. Splitting the pie with everyone and their mother leaves almost nothing for the person actually risking their life, meaning the fighter. The boxer. Do boxers pay taxes? Of course they do. Money earned in boxing is taxed the same way as a normal office job, right? With the same individual tax bracket considerations. Most boxers will be taxed out at around 40% of their earnings after the deductions. Oh my God. Oh my God. What does this mean? What does this mean? So if you make $100,000, you want 25% of that. So that's going to leave me $75,000. Then you want 33% of that. You see what I'm saying? So that's going to leave me shit. About what? $40-some thousand. You see what I'm saying? Then I still got to pay my trainer. You know what I mean? I got to pay him. He got to get his cut. You see what I'm saying? So after he get his cut, I got to pay my trick bill. I got to pay my ice bill. I got to pay my balling bill. I was popping bottles at the club. After I pay all that, I ain't really got that left. So it says right here, right? So the boxer who wins a $10,000 purse after paying trainers, managers, and taxes will be left with $6,000 to take home. Remember, any payments made to staff on your team is considered tax deductible. So you can use that as a tax write-off, which is good. Now, we're going to give you an example of how this shit works. Now, meaning you can deduct what you owe your trainer and manager before you calculate how much tax you must pay on what's left. And that is the good thing. For an example, a winning purse of $25,000. The trainer get 10%. So that leaves him that he got to give up $2,500. The manager get 33 1/3%, right? That means he got to pay the manager $8,333. Now, what does the fighter have left? The fighter has $14,167 left. Oh, and then that money that's left is going to get taxed at 40% by the IRS. That's going to leave the fighter with $8,500. So he got so from a $25,000 fight purse, that fighter was left with $8,500. Yeah, 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 yeah. Now, you only pay tax on what's left after your business costs are paid. Remember, these fighters are independent contractors, right? So for a purse of $25,000, according to my example, you're really taking home $8,500. Only 34% of total prize fight money for your fights. Let's stop right there, guys. We ain't really got to read no more. We ain't got to read no more. There's a whole lot of more over here. A whole lot of more over here, right? There's a whole lot of more over here. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, I might continue with this. There's a whole lot of more over here, right? This is why I say I love the sport of boxing more than I love a particular fighter, right? Most of these fighters ain't making no goddamn money like that. Hell, how many Canelos you got in boxing? One. How many Anthony Joshua's you got in boxing? One. Then you got the other tier fighters up under them that's making good money. And then after that, once you add up Crawford, Spence, Thurman, Porter, Danny Garcia, Wilder, Fury, Joshua, Canelo, you got 8 fighters right there. They want to say, okay, let's say the Charlos, you want to throw them in there, we'll say not. But we'll throw the Charlos, that'll be 11, and then Tank Davis. Once you add up all of those goddamn guys, you ain't got nothing.
To this day.
Bruh, this is why I say I love the sport of boxing more than I love an individual fighter, because it's good to sit online and sit back and talk about, this fighter right here and, this my guy and yada, 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 yada. But these other fighters ain't making no money like that. I have been a victim of calling certain fighters bums.
But this bum is taking the easy matches, fighting other bums.
We all do. Even fighters say that, right? Even fighters say that. Now, I need to read this to you. Let me read this to you guys before we move on and go to the phone lines. How much money does the average pro boxer make? You want to see this? On average, boxers can earn about $2,200 per fight early in their career.
To this day.
More experienced professionals earn about $6,800 on average per fight before expenses and taxes. Most fighters only have about 4 to 5 fights per year, making them on average $30,000 to $38,000 annually, excluding sponsors and endorsements. So you have a guy who's fighting for a living, right? And his average salary is going to be about $30,000 to $38,000 a year, starting out, right? And that's for the more experienced fighters. Some fighters earn a lot more money, like Floyd Money Mayweather, for an example. What you make as a professional depends on your boxing record, how entertaining you are, and a few other important factors that I'll be going over in a bit. He's finna break it down like a 57 Chevy, right? As I mentioned before, how long you've been competing plays a big part in your earnings. The early professional fighter, they make anywhere from $950 to $300 to $3,500 per fight. Experienced professional makes about $3,700 to $10K per fight. Average per year, this guy, early professional, makes about $22,000. The experienced professional makes about $34,000. Now, remember, the numbers above are before travel, management fees, training costs, and taxes. Don't despair. There are ways to earn more money in boxing. I'll go over this in a bit. We're gonna just move on from this right now. But I can make a whole series on this shit. I can make a whole series on this. This is why I say, you know what? No more beef. No more beef on this shit as it relates to trying to make this fight happen. I've been educated on what happened with the Floyd Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao era. They said it was real toxic online at that time. Real toxic. Whole lot of bullshit going on, right? Errol Spence and Terence Crawford, both of these guys are my brothers. You got an opportunity, guys, to make a boatload of money and make history at the same time while doing it. Hell, Wilder and Fury had a trilogy match. Even though a lot of people say they don't want to see the third match anymore, but they had a trilogy match. What in the hell you think Errol Spence and Crawford can do? Hell, even if they don't have a trilogy match, they can at least have a rematch clause. We're going to sign this fight right here. We don't know how it's going to turn out, and then we're going to immediately have a rematch clause. The money, baby, the money. Shout out to my main man, Blood. What's up, bro?
Hey, okay.
Yeah, man. Let me go ahead and talk to the chat, man. Let's talk to the chat. Let's talk to the chat. Retro Boxer say, great info, coach. Yeah, man.
Hey, okay.
He said, Clubber Lane never forgets Mother's Day.
But this ball been taking the easy matches. Fight another ball.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. These dudes ain't making no money. And he says, the average C-level fighter will make out better getting a city job with a pension. Bruh, there's only a handful of guys who are really like cash cow or draw money standpoint. There's only just think about it, guys. There's only a handful of these fighters who we really talk about all the time in the YTBC. There's only a handful of fighters that we really talk about all the time on the YTBC. Who do they talk about? Canelo, when Joshua has a fight, Joshua, Wilder, Fury. Who else? Errol Spence. Now they're talking about Crawford. Teofimo Devin Haney, Tank Davis. And I think that's it, right? I think that's it. That's it. 10 fighters. That's it. Most of the content is surrounded by 10 fighters. The other fighters, we don't even, you know what I mean? I mean, we got like, you know, and then depending on what country, if you live in the UK, then you're going to hear more about the UK fighters and stuff like that. But I'm just saying, like, on the YTBC, more like, you may hear about Dillian White and stuff like that. But you get what I'm saying, though. There's only really like 2 handful of fighters that we mostly talk about. Boots coming up. Yeah, Boots coming up. Boots Charlo, yeah. Boots is coming up right now. Brandon and Kelly, what you say, fam? I say that is it for mainstream. Right? And so I want to say that boxing is top heavy as it relates to the names that you use to draw attention to the sport of boxing. Boxing is top heavy. And then I broke down to you a lot of the matchmaking that goes on and shit already be set up before the fighter come in. And, because the promoter, let's say the promoter has his favorite fighter, right? This is my favorite fighter. I like this dude. Well, it's safe to say that Errol Spence will be is Al Haymon's favorite fighter on the PBC. I think it's safe to say that, right? I think between Errol Spence and Wilder, those are Al Haymon's 2 favorite fighters. Everybody else is just interchangeable parts. Because those are the only 2 guys that they really talk about on the PBC. Oh, yeah, and the Charlos. And the Charlos. And the Charlos, right? Those guys. So that's about it. And the PBC got a whole, they got over 100 fighters, but you only hear more about 5 or 6 of them. You see what I'm saying? About 5 or 6 of them. Shout out to Facts 100.
Hey, okay.
For dropping that $2. Bam! Super chat on your board.
Hey, Leroy.
Super chat received.
Playtime's over, boy.
He say 70 to Errol 30 for Bud. Numbers don't lie. Wow. See, this is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. He said, I'm still stuck on the 30 ball. Niggas really paying managers 33%. That's crazy. Yeah, man. Yeah. Still, Chef said, he said, is Spence allowed to say what he wants to fight Crawford without Al's permission? No. Anything dealing with Crawford, I don't think Errol Spence can say anything about it. That's why when Ellie sat back, asked him when him and Crawford fight next, or what do you think of something? He said, we'll see, and just kept walking. He was very, very vague. He didn't really get into that. The Queen Lisa Bell said, I like to hear about all boxers.
Hey, okay.
Yes. As a matter of fact, it's phone call time, guys. It's phone call time. Everybody, we finna open up the phone lines. Let's open up the phone lines. And let's talk about this. He says, Al is a F up, though. The Charlos should be the biggest thing in the sports. Yeah, you got 2 twin brothers that are champions. And they can't even do good pay-per-view numbers in their own state. The Charlos. The Charlos. You see what I'm saying? They can't even do good pay-per-view in their own damn state. And as a matter of fact, hold on, man. See, this is the problem too. Before I open up the phone line, I need to show this. I know y'all thinking I'd be hard on Jamal Charlo, man. I be hard on Jamal Charlo because I expect so much of Jamal Charlo. You know how you see somebody not living up to their potential, and you like, man, I know this dude, he could do a lot of different things, man, but this guy won't even, he won't even, This is why I be on these guys' neck. Because to me, once you hype a fighter up to me and you tell me he'll beat Superman, Batman, Voltron, Gamera, Godzilla, King Kong, once you go to telling me all this shit, Optimus Prime, Megatron, Goku, Piccolo, Frieza, Vegeta, once you go to telling me about your fighter is that bad, I will immediately turn around and say, okay, I want to see your fighter fight this guy, and this guy. And if you go to telling me, well, no, man, hey, my fighter don't need to fight this guy because, this guy, he on the wrong side of the street and he got to do this and he got to be 25 and he got to get the COVID shot and then he got to know how to do the one leg up and then he got to know how to do the butterfly and then he got to know how to beat me on Madden and then once he do that, then he'll fight me. Well, if you're going to doing all that shit right there, man, and you don't told me your fighter was Superman, Batman, Iron Man, Spider-Man, all the mans combined together, and you're going to make an excuse for why this fight shouldn't happen and that fight shouldn't happen, you, sir, are the problem. And this is what I see. This is what I don't like with my brother Jamal Charlo. Now, this is from, I think this Three Kings Boxing. This is a quote from Jamal Charlo. Jamal Charlo was asked a question about fighting David Benavidez. And he changes his mind a whole lot. He changed his mind a whole lot. Hold on.
I mean, if Benavidez can make 160, we can do it. If we can kind of catch weight in between 160 and 168. Benavidez is a 168 pounder that hasn't made the weight. He has no title. He has nothing to offer me. So that's why people keep mentioning Canelo and Golovkin, the higher stakes. I will fight Benavidez. All right, he's no problem to me. They talk a lot, strong, I'm here, I'm that. But it's different when you get in there. You have to figure something out. Man, don't listen to it. Hey, fans, y'all keep it locked. We got bigger things in store.
This is the problem that I have with Jamal Charlo. Shout out to Mr. D-Lock.
The stickiest of the icky.
Sorry about that, bro.
You want to smoke with the old boy Rick James?
Wrong sound effect.
Hey, okay.
For dropping that $2, bam, super chat on your boy.
Hey, Leroy.
Super chat received.
Playtime's over, boy.
He said Porter proved that street stuff was cap. Yes, he did prove that. He proved that the other side of the street stuff was cap. Al Heyman was not willing to allow that fight to happen, and Bob Arum was not willing to allow that fight to happen. I don't believe in putting it all on one promoter. Because see what had happened, hey, Mr. D-Lock, check this out. What had happened was this. People who were pro-PBC ass kissers call Al. They automatically jumped on Al Heyman's bandwagon because their favorite fighter was associated with the PBC, and they was pro Al Heyman because of that, right? But it takes two to tangle. And I say the reason why the fight didn't happen because of Bob Arum and Al Heyman. These are two powerful men in the sport of boxing. They can work out anything they want to work out. So so that's how I see it. I don't count for promoters and management companies. That ain't what I do. That's not what I do. But anyways, let's look at this. So this is our good brother, Jamal Charlo. And I'm gonna keep my foot on his neck too. I'm gonna keep my foot on his neck until I see that he start moving the way he should be moving. Because this guy's too talented to be saying this shit right here. Shout out to the Queen Bless 365.
Hey, okay.
Jamal Charlo was dismiss his fan. Why fight Benavidez? I'm already rich. Let's look at what the fans are saying here, right? And he said this on November the 15th. Garrison Bland, he wrote an article on this. I'm gonna find an article for you guys. The fans over here are saying, wow. This guy here says, yep, that's the guy we buy tickets for? What an a-hole. Another guy said he doesn't want that L. What a boxer. LOL scared. Charlos have lots of negative energy for black fighters, but when it's a Mexican fighter shaking my head, they turn into some hoes. So this is what this one guy said, right? Some of the fans, they kind of upset about it, right? The one guy says a straight BITCH move. I used to ride for the Charlos. If Jamal Charlo said this is the shit that I'm talking about. This is what you call ducking.
But this ball been taking the easy matches, fighting other balls.
This is what it's called ducking. They talk about, well, damn, Crawford, well, if you can't get this fight, will you move up to fight Canelo? For what? Canelo's too big. He would destroy Crawford. Why the hell you want him to move up? Two different worlds, two different lanes. You ain't asking Canelo to move down. Don't ask him to move up to fight Canelo. He's going to have his hands full fighting Errol Spence when that fight happens next year. But here you got a guy by the name of Jamal Charlo. He won't even fight the other champions in his division. In the middleweight division, guys, there are 4 different champions. One is Jamal Charlo, the WBC middleweight champion. The other one is Triple G, the IBF middleweight champion. The other one is Murata from Japan. He is the WBA middleweight champion. And then you have Bubu Andrade, who was the WBO middleweight champion. This guy won't fight neither one of them. Shout out to Mr. D-Lock for dropping that quarter of a bam dub on your boy.
Hey, Leroy.
Super chat received.
Playtime's over, boy.
He said Bob pulled up on Errol at the hooker fight. I remember that. Bob was there. Errol started naming other people and screaming, "Call Al," same way Jamal and Jacobs. Yeah, I remember that. That was like 3 years ago. I remember that. But this is the thing, though, right? Errol Spence and Terence Crawford, they don't hate each other. It's not Errol Spence and Terence Crawford. What I've been noticing is it's the fans and the fanboys. Let's put the number up, guys. Let's go ahead and put this number up right here, guys. 530-494. Gonna put the number up right now. 530-494-9636. The number is scrolling at the bottom. 490. As a matter of fact, let me stop it. Let me stop it so you guys can see it. Let me stop it so you guys can see it. I gotta stop this from scrolling at the bottom. Bear with me for a moment, guys. Save and show. There you go. That's the number right there. Y'all call in and talk to the old boy. Let's talk about this, man. We got an opportunity though, guys. We gotta do our part. We're gonna put our foot on Al Heyman's neck. We're gonna put our foot on Al Heyman's neck. Because right now we ain't gotta worry about it. Ain't nowhere Bob Arum stopping this and Bob Arum stopping that. Guess what? Bob Arum ain't in the way no more. So what excuse do you have now? Al Heyman.
Your caller just hung up. Goodbye.
All right, the caller just hung up. Caller, call back. Caller, call back. Caller, call back. Phone lines are open, guys. Anybody want to talk? All I'm saying is this. We got a perfect opportunity, man. Next year, man, it looks really lovely on what we can get. You don't have to hate Crawford to love Spence. You don't have to hate Spence to love Crawford. These fighters go through a lot of shit, dog. They go through a lot of stuff. And sometimes us as fans, when we don't understand how the business really works, what goes on in the background, sometimes we can be insensitive to stuff. But I can't condone this. Because this guy fans say he's the best middleweight in the world, and this guy be the one to beat Canelo, and Canelo ducking him and ducking him and ducking him. Okay, well, if Canelo is ducking him, then what about this guy? It seems to me that he's ducking him. So, bro, hold on, guys. Got a call coming in. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
Yo, what's up, man? This is Al. I spoke to you the other day.
What's your name?
Al.
Al, what's going on, fam? From Philly?
Yeah.
Yeah, what the link read?
So what's up? So listen, I think the problem is if you look at boxing back in the day, people fought more. So the audience had a chance to see who was the best fighters, and then it was a natural buildup. Like if you take Ali and Frazier for instance, it was a natural buildup, and then when they finally clashed, it made millions of dollars. That was the biggest selling fight of all time. That was the greatest promoted fight of all time. Or if you see Larry Holmes versus what's the white boy, Jerry Cooney. See, it was these natural buildups that happened. And I think what's happening now, Al Heyman and Bob Arum and even Eddie Hearn and them, they want that without putting in the work. They don't want to risk their chips. It's like they're playing poker, but nobody want to put their chips in the middle.
Right.
So what you have to do to get Crawford or Spence to be where Mayweather is, they have to fight each other. And then that winner goes up and fights a Charlo. And then they beat that Charlo, then they get the other brother, and then they move on to Canelo, and then you are a superstar. But they don't want to put their chips in the middle. So the fans miss out. And all these guys, all these companies fail to realize that the fandom is the motor oil to this company, to this machine. And if they don't cater to the fandom, they're gonna fall by the wayside. And I see people already going to MMA, you know what I mean, because boxing won't make the fights that people want to see. Like we had to wait forever for Mayweather and Pacquiao, and then the payoff wasn't even worth it.
Yeah. Because we didn't get the fight that we wanted, that we was anticipating, because they let that fight marinate for 5 years. And and so I mean, just think if that fight would have happened maybe years ago, Floyd and Pacquiao, they probably could have had we probably could have had 2 fights. It could have been the trilogy, something like that. They could have had multiple fights within that 5 years span. You know what I mean? And I don't want to see this fight go to the wayside of that. I don't want to be the type of fan or fanboy that turn around and I got to make excuses for my fighter or this fight. It ain't my job to do no negotiations. All I'm saying, all I'm saying, my brother, is this: they say Spence fans and the fanboys of Spence and the pro PBC ass kissers and the people who don't like Crawford. They said that Bob Arum was the reason why the fight didn't happen, and they said that and he was on the wrong side of the street. Guess what? He's not on the wrong side of the street anymore, and Bob Arum is not in the equation. So that tells me if this fight does not happen, it's going to be because of Al Heyman now.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, because my man is a fan of Al Heyman. He seems to believe that Al Heyman is good for the boxer. Meaning, at the end of the day, if you mess with Al Heyman, you're going to be straight financially. That's what, I don't know where he's getting this from, but that's what he seems to believe. That's why he's a fan of Al Heyman. He thinks that Bob Arum leaves their fighters high and dry, even though Timothy Bradley and Andre Ward seem to have a life after boxing. They seem to be doing all right for themselves.
All right, my brother, but listen, man.
I think that...
Go ahead.
I just want to make one last point.
Go ahead.
Okay, real quick. Boxing messed up with the Anthony Joshua and Deontay Wilder fight. See, that was the biggest fight in boxing that could have been made at the time. And then they played these games, and then they both took losses, and now they're both going to miss out on that $100 million fight. But that's what boxing does now. So
yes, sir, man.
Fans.
Yeah, well, Al, man, I appreciate that very much, man. We got other callers calling in. Thank you so much, brother, for calling in. Okay.
All right, now
let's give our brother a round of applause, man. Shout out to All Seeing Eye. Hey, okay. Dropping that $2 bam super chat on your boy.
Hey, Leroy.
Super chat received.
Playtime's over, boy.
This guy say a man that. Hold on. He says I'm Andre versus Benavidez. Who you got? Andrade. That's if it happens. That's if it happens. Hold on, we got another call coming in, guys. I don't think that fight will happen. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
Bless up, it's Troy Graham from Baltimore. How you be there, brother?
Hey, what's going on, Troy? What the link read?
Yeah, you know what? Let me tell you about the 3 P's in boxing. They've always been there: passion, purpose, and purse.
Mm.
But in the 21st century, it's purse, purpose, and no passion, because the purse is the purpose.
Mm.
There is no more passion. That's why you're never gonna get Crawford versus Spence. And if you look at his face when they had him on the big screen, Spence, does that look like a man who says, yeah, no? That just looked like a man that said, I don't care if you won. I'm not fighting you. I don't need to. I said the same thing with Joshua and Wilder, and the same thing when he's been here. It won't happen because there's no passion for it. Well, there's no passion on one end. And I can honestly say that. That's what I feel. There's no passion on one end, whereas one man has that passion. But it's not going to happen. Yeah, but tell me what you feel, man. Tell me what you feel about it.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I kind of, I'm kind of saying, I was kind of saying the same thing, that it won't happen, because I just don't think that Al Heyman will want to make that fight happen. With another fighter that's not a PBC fighter. You know what I mean? So that's just how I feel about it. I could be wrong, but then I say, you know what, man? Well, maybe let me see what I can do in order to help make that fight happen. If it should be able to happen, because Bob Arum is out of the way. The other side of the street is gone. So if Bob Arum is out of the way and the other side of the street is gone, then there should be no more obstacles. As a matter of fact, Crawford don't even have to deal directly with Errol Spence, because now, by him having his own promotional company, and he doesn't have a promoter he's working with the guy from MTK Global, so he doesn't have a promoter that's going to get in the way. He can have his people. He can deal directly with Al Heyman himself. Hey, look,
thank you very much.
Listen, y'all said it was a promoter. Okay, you don't have to deal with Errol Spence. I'm in a position now. I can deal directly with the guy who's going to cut the check, and that's what he can do.
And let me say this real quick before I jump off here. Everybody that's complaining about Alvarez, about he's doing this, that, and the third, all he's doing is making history, while those fighters that you want him to fight are standing still. So stop your complaining. I'm sick of the pussified boxing conversations. You have a good day, Coach.
All right, salute. Shout out to Troy Graham, man. Shout out to Troy for giving us a call, man. Shout out to Troy for giving us a call. He said Andrade versus Benavidez. What you got? That's a fantasy match. Andrade is a middleweight, and Benavidez is a super middleweight. So if Andrade moves up, I would be inclined to. I don't know. I always kind of tend to favor the bigger guy. You know what I mean? So, but I don't know. I'll probably be rooting for Andrade in that, to be honest with you. If that fight was to ever materialize. Shout out to Bless 365, the Queen Bless 365.
The stickiest of the icky. You want to smoke with the old boy Rick James?
Sorry about that. Okay. For dropping that quarter of a bam dub on your boy.
Hey, Leroy.
Super chat received.
Playtime's over, boy.
The Queen Bless 365 says, everyone is afraid to take an L. Not everyone can retire with Floyd Mayweather's record. No, they can't. No, they can't. No, they can't. And Bless, you're right about that. It's just that, I think it's a flawed mindset to even think that you can, you know what I mean? Bless, just to even do that. We're gonna fight, and I'm gonna stay undefeated. Well, you got to challenge yourself. We got another call coming in. Hold on, guys. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey, Coach, this is Arthur Hawk. I'm calling from Maryland.
Arthur, what's going on, my brother?
Hey, too much. Something is bubbling below the scenes, I'm thinking, and I want to talk about it to you on boxing.
Okay, go ahead.
That we need to pay attention to. Okay. Yeah. All right. Now, I'm 52 years old now, so I'm going to take you back a little bit. Back in the day, Sugar Ray Leonard came up. He fought Benitez, Tommy Hearn, Roberto Duran a couple of times and everything, and he was a big star, big hit, because he had took out those big names, and then he retired. He had his problems. Mm-hmm. Now, I'm gonna bring you up to date. You still with me?
Yeah,
Taking the ride.
I'm still with you.
All right, Keith Thurman. Remember, Keith Thurman came up. He beat Sean Porter, Danny Garcia,
right?
And who else he take up? Who else did he take? He took out a couple of big names. And now think about the way people talk about Keith Thurman right now.
Right.
When Sugar Ray Leonard had retired for whatever reason he did, that's how we were talking about him then. As Tommy Hearns was beating up people. Marvin Hagler was taking out everybody. Roberto Duran was still coming up. The people that, the stars, just like right now, you still got Errol Spence. Sean Porter still had a good name. You still had Terence Crawford. So this is what's going on right now. Now, if Keith Thurman comes out, does a warm-up, Sugar Ray Leonard did that, a warm-up fight, then turns around and goes fight Crawford and beat him. And just going to fight Crawford, but to go fight Crawford and actually beat him, he would be big as Sugar Ray Leonard was. And because Sugar Ray Leonard still talked about today. Because what he did was he beat all his contemporaries, retired, which seems like what Keith is on right now, came back, took one warm-up, and beat the guy that terrorized everybody, which was Marvin Hagler.
Right.
In my opinion, I thought Marvin Hagler won the fight, but I'm just saying, if Keith Thurman wants to be a superstar, because people still talk about Keith as if he's still doing work, if you think about it. So I'm just looking at that picture. If you look at that picture, I want you to give me your idea, your opinion on that picture, if Keith was to come back like that.
Man, Keith Thurman hasn't fought in over 2.5 years. I think, to be honest with you, the only time. Go ahead. Yeah, you was talking about Sugar Ray.
Sugar Ray Leonard was out. Yeah, he was out 5 years.
Yeah.
When he came back and fought Hagler. Yeah,
right.
And everybody was saying, who was the one person that might can come back and beat Hagler? Everybody kept saying Sugar Ray Leonard. And shoot, Terrell Norris was out back then, and everybody was coming up, just like Terence Crawford is doing today. I'm just saying, I don't think nobody's going to beat Terence Crawford, but I'm just saying, what would be a big story if Keith was to come back, because they're talking about him today as if he's, Sugar Ray Leonard was.
No, why? When you say they are talking about him, who is the they? Why are they talking about Keith Thurman? Because I got an article right here.
I hear a lot of, because right to this day, it's in the boxing. And unboxing ads and stuff that Keith Thurman is supposed to be fighting Terence Crawford next year.
No,
and I'm like,
I got the article right. This is where that rumor comes from. Right here, it comes from this.
Okay, go ahead.
Greg Rosenstein, he interviewed Keith Thurman. This is the article right here by The Athletic. Keith Thurman told Greg Rosenstein that he's willing to fight Terence Crawford this summer, meaning next summer, right? 2022.
Okay.
And he said, I believe that I have the skills and capabilities to challenge Crawford in a way that he has not been challenged yet. So basically, Crawford has been out for 2.5 years. He has not fought since he fought Manny Pacquiao. And now that Terence Crawford has beat Sean Porter and stopped him, now Keith Thurman is saying he wants to fight Crawford. The only problem with that is you have been out for 2.5 years. You're kind of irrelevant now. And the only time we hear about you is when you come out and do an interview and stuff like that. People are focusing more on the active fighters. Keith Thurman had that thunder. He was in a position that Errol Spence was in 2.5, a while ago. But due to inactivity, people are focusing on Crawford and Spence. This is the only reason why you're saying that people talking about Keith Thurman is because he did an interview and he said that I would like. He brought up Crawford's name. And that's it. Other than that, wasn't nobody talking about that.
No, I understand where you're coming from.
Right.
I am making the comparison to Sugar Ray Leonard's career and to Keith Thurman's career. Actually, by him even fighting Pacquiao last. Mm-hmm. Like Sugar Ray Leonard had fought every big name before he went silent for 5 years.
Okay.
And Crawford came up.
Hagler
came up and beat everybody.
Yeah, I got you.
And then what I'm saying is if somehow Terence Crawford allowed him to fight him sometime next year, and Keith Thurman came back early in the year and beat somebody impressively.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. And he beat somebody impressively, talk his junk like he do, and he beat somebody like in January. He come back and he does beat somebody.
Right. You just saying hypothetical, if this and if that is possibilities. Yeah, I got you. All right, well listen,
I'm saying the comparison of the way him coming back.
Right.
It would be compared to the way Sugar Ray Leonard came back and fought Hagler.
All right,
if he was to come back and fight Terence Crawford.
All right, that's a good way of looking at it, man. Shout out to my brother Arthur Hawkins, man, for calling in. I appreciate you, brother. Shout out to you, fam. Shout out to you, my brother. Phone lines are open. Phone lines are open, guys. Let me see, hold on. Phone lines are open. 530-494-9636. 530-494-9636. Shout out to Hector Garcia.
The stickiest of the icky. You want to smoke with the old boy Rick James?
Shout out to Big Head.
Hey, okay.
For dropping that $2. Bam! Super chat on your boy.
Hey, Leroy.
Super chat received.
Playtime's over, boy.
Hector says that he said, does Big Fish really want to smoke with Crawford? I mean, I don't know, man. I think he do. I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
Hello?
Hey, you gotta turn down your volume in the background.
Sir, hello, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
I need you to turn. Yeah, but I need you to turn the volume down in the background. Did you turn it down?
Yeah, it's down.
All right, yes, sir. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Yeah, my name is Anthony. I'm Tony. It's Anthony, but they call me Tony for sure. I'm calling from Brooklyn. Brooklyn, New York.
All right, Anthony from Brooklyn. What's going on, baby?
Yeah, what's going on? Yeah, I want to state a little fact about how boxing is like. Because back in the day, I used to box. When I was younger, like I was 18, I'm 34 now. I'm 35 next month. But anyways, long story short is that the state of boxing, I don't like the way it operates. Like too much politics in boxing. I mean, would you agree with me on that? It's like they pay too much office politics to make the best fighter fight the best. Simple as that. You see what I'm saying? That they want money. You see what I'm saying? Like
yeah.
I don't like the process of how they do in boxing. Like
yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Because at one point, I wanted to start boxing like when I was younger, but that kind of deterred me away from it because the way they do boxing is like very like politics. This person with the money guy, you see what I'm saying? Like they messed it up. There's a lot of because I'm watching a lot of people with podcasts. Like I watched Fred Alton. I don't know if you know Fred Alton. Yes, barbershop conversations.
Right.
Yeah, it's like I don't know. What do you think about that? I mean, am I wrong or right? Like,
no, I mean, there's no right or wrong answer. I mean, everything is subjective to how you feel. You see what I'm saying?
What do you think about it? I'm saying, what are your opinion?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of politics in boxing. Politics has always been in the sport of boxing. So this is why on this show, I try to show what really goes into actually making a match, making a fight from a matchmaking standpoint to the role of the promoter, role of a manager. I try to educate my audience as much as possible. So you can see that when a lot of these times these fights don't happen, it is because of the politics of boxing. But then people say politics, what are the politics? So I like to go deep inside and break down, this is the part of the politics, the matchmaking. This is the part of the politics, the promoter. This is his job. This is the part of the politics, the manager. And then we break down what everybody's jobs is. Then once you have a full understanding of that, then you automatically know, so when they say the politics of boxing, why this fight didn't happen and why that fight didn't happen, now we have an understanding of why it didn't happen. Because you know what the politics really mean. That's what I think about that, my brother. But Anthony from Brooklyn, thank you for calling in, brother. We got more calls coming in. Thank you, friend.
All right.
Yes, sir.
Call from.
Hold on, caller. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
Pop Off 9-3 Boxing and Sports. I'm calling from New Jersey.
Pop Off from New Jersey. What's going on, fam?
What's going on? I just wanted to say, man, I think Errol Spence, he need a tune-up fight. So I think if him and Keith Thurman, if they mix it up, you know what I'm saying, that'd be good. And then Ugas and Crawford, they fight. Crawford get another belt. And then Errol Spence and Crawford will beat up for undisputed.
Yeah, I mean,
what you think?
Yeah. I mean, I would love to see that, but this is the thing, though, right? The WBA ordered. They're saying that Ugas has to fight. He has to defend his belt in some kind of tournament. You see what I'm saying? Like he got to defend his belt in some kind of tournament, which is some bullshit. But that's stopping the Crawford. I mean, that's stopping the Ugas in Spence fight. Spence could have had that fight.
Yeah.
As a tune-up or whatever.
Yeah, but I think if Spence push up with Al Heyman, I think they got enough power to override that tournament. You know what I'm saying? If they push up on the WBA or whatever, I think Errol Spence. I think they could override that.
Yeah, I don't
Especially
know.
If Crawford try to reach out and get the Ugas fight, I think he could override that. And then Thurman, he talking, he need to get active. So if Errol Spence want to, you know what I'm saying, a tune-up too, because he been off for 8 months and he's still going through the odd thing, he beat up on Thurman. And then, you know what I'm saying, Crawford do what he do with Ugas. That'll be a good fight, but I think Crawford will come out on top. Then it'll be 2 belts to 2 belts. Then it'll be a 50-50 fight all the way around the board. Money split and everything.
I mean, you know what? The way you explain it, it sounds wonderful. The only problem is, you feel me? The only problem is, if for some reason these fights are not just that easy, you know what I mean? But bro, the way you explained it and broke it down, it's beautiful because but Papa, thank you so much, brother, for calling in, man. We got other callers calling in. I hope it would happen like that. You know, I appreciate you.
Word up. All right.
And the brother Papa, listen, it's amazing, guys, because you know us as fans, we can lay it out real good. Well, see, this is all they need to do, right? See, they need to do first what we do, we go in the office, and then we talk about how much the purse split's gonna be. Then once we figure that out, then we go ahead and make the fight happen, and then we sign the contracts, and that's it. You know, we make it seem so easy, but it's just not that easy sometimes. Sometimes it is that easy, and sometimes it's not, depending on the interest of the promoter. So that's just what it is. The last time Errol Spence had a fight was December last year when he fought Danny Garcia. That was the last time he had a fight. So Errol Spence did say he doesn't need a tune-up. He doesn't need a tune-up. You know what I mean? So, but you know, we'll see. If he say he don't need a tune-up, he don't need a tune-up. I'll take Errol Spence's word for it. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from? Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
Call from
Don.
Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
Don from Pittsburgh, homie. How you feeling today?
Don, what's going on? Don from Pittsburgh, what's going on with you, homie?
Hey, man, I was just calling in real quick, man. So the thing is with this whole Spence and Crawford thing, as for Spence, there's almost no avenue to go for him. Mm-hmm. Because if you look, Ugas is caught in this tournament with the WBA. 4-person tournament he's caught in. The IBF, Boots is about to be his mandatory. Mm-hmm. The WBC, Virgil is his mandatory. So there's almost, if he goes to 154, there's nobody there. And he don't got too much. He's either going to have to, drop one of those belts, or he's going to have to go see Crawford pretty soon.
I think the sanctioning bodies, I got to find the receipts on it to make sure. I'm not going to lie to you, Don. I'm not going to lie to you. I got to find the receipts to make sure. But I think the sanctioning bodies are clearing the way to allow Spence to be able to fight, make the Crawford fight. That's what I'm hearing, but I don't have any actual facts on it. So let me see, can I get the facts on it to make sure? But we'll see, man. It's up to Al Heyman now. Now it's up to Al Heyman. There's no more Bob. So it's up to Al Heyman. It's up to Al Heyman. It's all on Al now. We're going to keep that same energy now. We're going to keep that same energy. It's all on Al Heyman.
And for sure. And the thing is with Spence, though, like, he had that meet, like, Spence, Bud pulled up to him on that at that Hooker fight. And when he pulled up to him at that Hooker fight, he was with Bob. He was with Bob. Bob said, there ain't nothing on my side that's going to stop this.
Right.
And Errol the whole time. And it was clear with Jamal too. If you actually go back when Danny pulled up on Jamal, it was the same exact thing. They kept saying the same thing. Well, y'all need to call Al. Y'all need to call Al.
Right. Okay, well, listen. Go ahead, Don. Go ahead. No, go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
No. What was you about to say? I'm sorry.
No. I was saying. I try to keep the calls to 2 minutes. We got other callers calling in.
Man.
Hey,
yeah,
Don,
no, go ahead, dude. I appreciate the time, man.
Hey, but Don, you're right about that though, fam. I really appreciate Don coming in. Call back. Whoever was calling in, call back. You know what I mean? Deborah says he didn't need a tune-up after the car accident when he beat Danny, so he don't need one now. Deborah, thank you so much, sis, for coming back. I do apologize about the other day. I think I was kind of harsh. I owe you an apology. So I do apologize. Please forgive me. And yeah, I don't know if he said he don't need a tune up, then he don't need a tune up. That's what he said. I think Errol Spence knows his he knows his he knows his position, his condition better than anyone. So I think, we got to take Errol Spence for his word. Caller, stay on hold. I got you. Shout out to Shaft.
Hey, okay.
For dropping that $2 bam super chat on your boy.
Hey, Leroy.
Super chat received.
Playtime's over, boy.
He says Spence had a full count for Manny. That counts too. Yes, it does. It does count. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey, this is Alex from Dallas, Texas. How are you, Coach?
What your name is again, brother? It was kind of muffled.
Alex. I'm Alex from Dallas.
Ali from Dallas?
Alex.
Oh, Alex. Okay, Alex. Yeah, Alex.
Yeah.
Alex from Dallas. Alex, what's going on, fam?
Hey, not much, man. I just wanted to piggyback on the other caller when he was talking about Thurman could face Errol and Ugas could face Crawford, and we all know that WBA is doing some sort of mandate. He's mandating Ugas, but don't unification Trump mandatory. And that's what I'm calling, because I thought the unification bout will Trump any mandatory.
Right. So my thing is, but let me ask you a question. What do you think about the actual Errol Spence and Crawford actually just coming together? Well, Crawford getting together with Al Heyman and Al making this fight happen since Bob Arum is not in the way now. What do you think about just both sides?
If the fight happen next, I'll be super happy. But right. It just really seems like he's not going to. But that's what I would love the most if it happens right next.
Okay. All right. Cool, man. So, hey, Alex from Texas, thank you so much for calling in, my brother. I appreciate that. We got other calls calling in. Shout out to my man Alex from Texas, man. He took the time out to call us. The Queen Deborah says, we cool. I accept your apology and I will continue to follow you. You're all right, coach. Yeah, I appreciate that. You know what I mean? So again, guys, I just think that, you got Errol Spence and you have Terence Crawford, right? These brothers got an opportunity to make history. It's the most anticipated fight that everybody want to see. Everybody want to see this fight. I don't think there are any other big fights so far that's going to happen in the early part of the year, like maybe February, March, outside of Anthony Joshua and Usyk. That's going to be a big fight. Of course, Deontay Wilder will not be back until April next year. Tyson Fury, we're going to see what's up with him and Dillian White. But in the States, as it relates to the welterweight division, I don't have to hate Errol Spence to like Crawford, and I don't have to like Crawford. I don't have to hate Crawford to like Errol Spence. You see what I'm saying? There's nothing wrong with feeling like Errol Spence will beat Crawford. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with feeling like Crawford will beat Errol Spence. That's the position that I take. There's nothing wrong with that, right? But we shouldn't have to hate neither one of these guys. Both of these guys are phenomenal fighters. Both of these guys can make history. Both of these guys are two brothers who came up from nothing. You see what I'm saying? And this is the prime opportunity of a lifetime. And us fight fans, we get a chance to see the best fighters fight the best fighters. I don't care about the politics. You see what I'm saying of it? I just want to see it happen. And I think us as fight fans, I think that we deserve that. I think we as fight fans deserve that. You see what I'm saying? And I don't hate you because you don't like Crawford, and you shouldn't hate me because or someone don't like Errol Spence. I like both fighters. You see what I'm saying? Now, I favor Crawford because that's my favorite fighter. It doesn't mean that Crawford is going to beat Spence. And I'm pretty sure that people who love Spence, they'll favor Spence, but it doesn't mean that Spence will beat Crawford. But the only way we are going to know, guys, who is the best in the welterweight division, these two guys have to fight each other. Period. You see what I'm saying? I don't want to hear nothing about no Crawford got to move up to fight this dude, that dude. Damn, all that. He don't need to move up, do shit. He don't move up 3 weight classes already. This is his 3rd weight class. The fight to make is Errol Spence and Terence Crawford, and they could potentially have 2 fights next year. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey, calling from Atlanta.
ATL in the building. What's your name, bro?
My name's Kendall. I also do a podcast as well. How you doing, brother?
I'm doing good, Ken. What the league read? What you want to talk about?
Hey man, so look, I actually like what you was talking about. The only thing that I would say is because I would love to see the Errol Spence versus Terence Crawford right now, right? Mm-hmm. But the only thing you remember, Terence Crawford didn't want that fight because he didn't want the excuses being made, right?
Okay. Because
people basically discredit Terence Crawford if he beat Errol Spence. So I would really recommend that Errol Spence, even though he doesn't want it, I would recommend that he get a tune-up so all excuses be out the way.
Yeah, I don't think Errol Spence is looking for any excuses. Errol Spence know his body better than anyone. So we just have to see the direction that Al Haymon and the PBC want to move with Errol. You have to understand, Errol Spence is one of their best fighters. He is, you know, he's a star over there with the PBC. So you don't want to just, so, you know, if you feel like that, hey, you know, well, Crawford just had a fight and we don't want Spence very next fight, kind of like what you're saying now. We don't want Spence very next fight to be with Crawford. You know what I mean? We probably need to put him in there with somebody else so we can see exactly where he is at. You know, so you see what I'm saying? With his timing and his rhythm and his hand-eye coordination and his defense and stuff like that. So I do agree with that. But Spence did say he doesn't need a tune-up. So
and you see how it was when he fought against Danny Garcia. He felt like he was only about 80%.
Right.
You got to be at 100% if you're going to fight against Terence Crawford, and we all know that. You already got people leaning towards Terence Crawford now. He has to literally be 100% in order to, you know, pull that off. And I'm actually rooting for whoever, but I'm really a Errol Spence fan.
Yeah.
But I also like Terence Crawford, so it's really whoever wins. But even though that's the case, I still feel like Errol Spence needs to be at 100% in order to beat Terence Crawford.
Right. Absolutely. Hey, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Ken, for calling in, man. I appreciate you. Yes, sir, brother.
Yeah, appreciate you. Keep doing what you're doing.
Yes, sir. Phone lines are open. 530-494. 530-494. 9636. Phone lines are open, guys. Phone lines are open. Caller, just call. Please call back. Brother here said facts. Crawford looks like the real deal. Yeah, you know, but listen, again, like styles make fights. Errol Spence has a style. Bro, listen, Crawford and Spence fight each other. That's truly a 50-50 fight. Errol Spence is not a joke. He's nothing to play with. You see what I'm saying? And Crawford is not a joke. He's nothing to play with. And this is why we want to see the fight. Because the only way we're going to know who's going to win, they got to get in the ring, man. And I got love for both of those guys, man. I'm going to do everything in my power to push it, man. And I'm going to try to lead by example, guys. I'm going to try to lead by example. That's all I can do. I'm going to try to lead by example. We're not going to get in contact. We're not going to deal with the fanboy talk and stuff like that with the guys saying on the internet. Let's focus on these two brothers getting together and getting this bag, making a boatload of money, and let's just make it do what it do, man. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
Yo, Caesar Castro.
Caesar Castro. What's going on? What's going on?
What's up, man? How you doing, man?
What's happening with you?
Chilling, man. Just looking at the show. I'm just trying the show, trying to boxing.
All right, what's going on? What you want to talk about?
On the chat.
Huh?
No, I'm just hearing the same. I just think, you know what I'm saying? Like, fighters got to fight everybody, don't matter race, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, if Terence Crawford and Errol Spence got to fight, you know what I'm saying? You got to fight. It don't matter about race, if you support them or not. Those are the best two welterweights in the world. You should support them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely.
It don't matter if one's Mexican or one's from Jamaica or one's from wherever the hell it's from. You know what I'm saying? That don't matter. You know what I'm saying? We want to see the two best welterweights fight, and we know that's the two best welterweights. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely.
So I don't see no point. I don't see no point in always trying to make it a race thing. That's why I got a problem with, like, I don't got a problem with nobody. I just don't like the narrative with Blue Blood and a couple of Ego and all Dante. Like, they always want to make it about Mexicans and this and that. And it's like, that's not what boxing is about, man. If you just following boxing for a long time, I've been following boxing fights since like the 2000s stuff, De La Hoya, Hopkins, you know what I'm saying? Who else?
you know, right, those are my favorite fighters coming up, you know what I'm saying? I'm 30 years old right now, so it's like, I've been watching boxing for a long time, so I was like 5, 6 years old.
Okay,
so it's
okay.
like, you know.
All right, well, Caesar,
You know
man.
what I'm saying, Coach?
Yeah, I understand exactly what you're saying, man. Caesar, thank you so much, my
And
brother.
yeah, I don't know why I kind of feel like you feel some type of way about me, like, you know, you kind of addressed me a couple times, and I just feel like you got the message like,
what was it? What,
about me, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, you talking about you follow me? Oh, you talking about Caesar Castro? Who? Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah. Oh, all right, yeah. Yeah, because I probably thought you was a troll because, and I get a lot of troll, and I get a lot of.
I like hearing.
Okay, if you block, I'm gonna unblock you because I get a lot of I get a lot of good messages, but I get some guys and they be creating other people's accounts and stuff. So if I got you confused with somebody else, I apologize. If you block, I'll unblock you. All right, we have no issues.
I apologize too, Coach, because I got number love. And I tune into the channel, so I like hearing about boxing. I like you know how you think about it, and you kind of have similar thoughts about it too, you know.
Yeah, for sure, man. Hey, well, Caesar, check this out, man. It's all good in the hood, man. I salute to Caesar for calling in, man. We're gonna get some more calls, all right? Shout out to Caesar, man, calling. Shout out to Caesar. Shout out to Caesar calling from Mexico, man. I really appreciate that, fam. Really appreciate that. You know, guys, I just wanna make sure, man, that we set this thing off on the right foot, man, because at the end of the day, we deserve to get some goddamn good fights. I don't give a damn who the fight is. I don't care who it is. I ain't protecting nobody, Crawford or nobody. I can sit back and believe that Crawford is the best welterweight in the world. Guess what? My belief don't mean shit if him and Errol Spence don't fight each other. That's the only way we're gonna know, because those are the top guys. Hands to the down. Hold on, Carla, hold on, Carla, hold on. Shout out to the Queen Bless 365.
The stickiest of the icky. You want to smoke with the old boy Rick James?
Sorry about that, Bless. For dropping that $2, bam, super chat on your boy.
Hey, Leroy.
Super chat received.
Playtime's over, boy.
Bless says Bud deserves 50-50, coach. I think at this point that has to be it. I think at this point that has to be it. Even though he didn't do the pay-per-view numbers that Spence did, but you got to look at a lot of the mitigating factors at this point. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey, man, what's up? My name is Richard. I'm calling from San Diego, California.
Richard, what's going on, baby? What you want to talk about?
Man, to be honest with you, I kind of had a question for you, man. I'm wondering if this Spence and Crawford fight do happen, what do you think Spence is going to come with? Like, what do you think he's going to try to say the fight should be, like 60-40 again? Do you think he's going to come with that type of stuff? What do you think going to happen? That's my main concern.
I don't, to be honest with you, I think the situation has changed now that Terence Crawford is a free agent and he doesn't have to answer to anyone. So I think that situation has changed because everything's going to run through Al Heyman. Crawford will be able to directly deal with Al Heyman. You see what I'm saying? His manager will be able to deal directly with Al Heyman. He has his own promotional company with Bomac, so the dynamics have changed. So from that standpoint, now from a number standpoint, of course, Errol Spence does better pay-per-view numbers than Terence Crawford. That's facts. But Errol Spence comes from a bigger market. He comes from Texas. He has as a good brother on Trill. I saw his show today. Trill. 7A Sports and CC. I saw their show today, and he made a valid point on his show. He said that Errol comes from a bigger market. That Texas is the biggest state in the United States, and he broke down how Errol Spence has Jerry Jones, the owner of the Dallas Cowboys, supporting him. So that's a different dynamic as well. I didn't even think about that. So. You can make an argument for both. Wow, okay, well, this guy, Errol should get this and Crawford should get that. But I think the dynamics have changed now that Crawford is a free agent and Errol still has to, he's under, Al Heyman. But I think that Al can make that fight happen himself to where Errol can get the money that he wants and Crawford can get the money that he wants. And I think he can make that happen, man. I really think he can make that happen, my brother.
Did you hear about Crawford supposedly petitioning to fight him?
Yeah. He did that. Yeah, he did that.
So,
but Mauricio Suleiman.
So is that?
Go ahead.
So is that going to be able to go through, you think, or what?
I don't know. They Mauricio Suleiman said that we're going to have to wait to see what happens after the fight. Now that the fight is over with, I think Crawford can go back and do that same thing again with the WBC and seeking to make that fight happen. It was a representative of Crawford, so seeking to make that happen. And that's all I have as related to that, Richard, man. But thank you so much, brother, from Sacramento.
San Diego,
okay.
California.
All right, shout out to Richard from San Diego, man. I appreciate you, fam.
Nice talking to you, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Shout out to you, my brother. Shout out to the queen. Shout out. Hold on. I got to keep switching back. Shout out to the queen, Deborah. Hey, okay. For dropping that quarter of a bam dub on your boy.
Hey, Leroy.
Super chat received.
Playtime's over, boy.
Oh yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Deborah. The brother say, he said, why is that your concern? It's not like he's splitting the purse with you. True. I'm just saying, I mean, just be honest. You know, Errol Spence does do better numbers than Crawford, but Crawford does come from a smaller market. He doesn't have the advantages that Errol Spence will have. By Errol coming from the biggest state in the country, and he has the backing of Jerry Jones, giving him that notoriety stamp of approval, it's kind of different. You know what I mean? So, but I will say this though. Because Crawford is a free agent, and not Al Heyman, but Bob Arum was supposed to be the stumbling block. Now that the stumbling block is gone, Crawford get a chance to make more, to get paid more, a bigger piece of the pie, because he doesn't have to split it with our Top Rank. He doesn't have to split it with them. So, he has that in his favor. Shout out to Chick for dropping that half a bam hundo on your boy.
Hey, Leroy.
Super chat received.
Playtime's over, boy.
Chick says, happy Thanksgiving to the channel. I am thankful for Coach's Boxing Insight, the moderators and all the subscribers. Love and respect to all. Yeah, I really appreciate that, Chick, man. I really appreciate that, my brother. Really appreciate the support. Papa says, boxing is on race and favoritism. Yeah, but we can get away from that. Well, I mean, we can get away from pushing a racial dynamic, because at the end of the day, it's going to boil down to matchmaking and a person's skill set and stuff like that. So we can get rid of that. But that's from looking at it from that standpoint. But as it relates to favoritism, you're always going to have favoritism, right? And in the business, there's always going to be favoritism when they're trying to build a fighter up, in the process of building up. You know what I mean? So Pooja Living says Spence might just want to get the fight on also. Post-accident makes you reflect on some things in a different light. We'll see. We'll see. Right now it's in, as I said before, guys, the dynamics have changed, but just like Trill Boxing said, the brother over there out of Dallas, Texas, man, he said some real shit. He said that by Errol coming from a bigger market, the dynamics is a little different, and he will. I just think, man, to make it all, I think Al Heyman should just say, I don't know what it's going to be. Look, make it 50-50, man. This dude ain't with Bob Arum anymore. The dynamics have changed. He's a free agent. He has a lot more options. He's going to fight with us on a fight by fight basis. Whatever I need to do in order to make this deal happen, so that I can at least get Crawford for 2 fights with the PBC, I might need to make a compromise here. And I think they can do that. You feel me? He said Spence might want to get the fight on. I read that already. Okay. I don't care. I'm not a fanager. So you feel me? I don't want to fanager shit. He said, why are the fans worried about how much fighters get? I don't understand. Yeah, I don't understand it either. I don't understand it either. What I don't want to do, I don't want to make the same mistakes that we did in the past with Wilder and Joshua. You had all the managers getting in there, and then we was negotiating online and talking about purse splits and talking about endorsement deals. And my fighter, he got an endorsement deal with Beats by Dre, and your fighter got an endorsement deal with Chick-fil-A. So my fighter got more endorsement deals than you. My fighter was in the club popping bottles. Your fighter can't even go in the club, and just all this crazy shit. And then we go on these other people's channels and we go to trolling, and not us. But you get what I'm saying though, right? So I just, man, I like what I'm seeing from Blue Blood Sports TV. I know a lot of you guys, and I know I talked a whole lot of shit, but I'm saying I like what I'm seeing from the brother. He's really trying to push this Spence Crawford fight. Trill Boxing, they really, him, CC, in 7-8, they're really trying to push this Spence Crawford fight, and they just want to see the fight. We all want to see the fight, and I just want to close ranks, guys, and just really make this happen. These are two brothers. They got an opportunity to make a boatload of money together, bro. Just think about it. I ain't saying it's going to be a trilogy, but I think that if they fight each other, both fighters want to be undisputed in the welterweight division. I don't hate Spence, even though that Crawford is my favorite fighter, but I don't have to hate Spence in order to like Crawford, and you shouldn't have to hate Crawford in order to like Spence. Let both of them get their money, and let both of them fight each other, and may the best man win. It's going to be good for the sport of boxing. We get a good fight, and guess what? Crawford and Spence don't hate each other any goddamn ways. I think Crawford got an ego. He's hurt. He got an ego. He's hurt. He feel like he's being disrespected, not by Spence, but just by, certain fans in general. And he feel like he ain't getting his props and credit that he deserved. He's a human being. And, and Spence is tired of hearing about, man, you got to fight Crawford. You got to fight Crawford. And there's a lot of stuff that goes on in the background from a business standpoint that we may not be privy to. And we end up sometimes as fans jumping out the window saying certain things that may or may not be true based on things that we are ignorant about. So what I want to do from this point forward, guys, is I want to do my part and try to help make this fight happen. Me, myself, get away from anything that's not advancing the sport. Now, I'm still call out the bullshit when I see it. I'm still call out bullshit when I see it. But at the end of the day, I owe a responsibility to you guys to do better from a content creation standpoint. So I'm going to do my part, do my best as I can from a content creation standpoint going into 2022, and just cut out all of the bullshit. And I'm going to still spit my fire, break it down like I normally break it down, because I'm a very, fiery person. I am. You know what I mean? I'm very passionate, but at the end of the day, I have to hold myself responsible for what role, what part am I playing in growing the sport of boxing. And if it's anything that I can do, I see the other brothers out there, they're doing their parts. Whether we all agree or not, all of the content creators are pretty much doing their parts. So shout out to all of the content creators. Whether we agree with them or not, let's give them a shout out. And shout out to all of the true fans who love the sport of boxing. Let's give you guys a round of applause. Oh, yeah, you guys got to forgive me, man. I can't see, this light is in the way. A round of applause. I had to turn that light away. That light is blinding me. All right, guys. Shout out to Mr. Nice for dropping that quarter of a bam dub on your boy.
Hey, Leroy.
Super chat received.
Playtime's over, boy.
Man, it don't got hot. Mr. Nice says Spence beat Garcia, Bud beat Porter. We don't need no more mandatories in between. Let them fight 45-45 split. Winner gets the other 10% in Ugas belt. He said, and Ugas belt. He said, and Ugas belt. Bro, you need to cut that out, man. Bro, for real though, you need nah, man, you gonna throw Ugas belt in there as a consolation prize, huh? All right, man. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Let me read some more chats. He says, Spence gonna do what that boy, Spence gonna do that boy like he did Mikey. Well, the only way we gonna find out, they're gonna have to fight each other. It's okay to feel that way, Pac Roy, but guess what? The only way we're gonna know is Spence is gonna do that boy, Terence Crawford, like he did Mikey Garcia. They're gonna have to fight each other. Other than that, that's just belief and speculation. That's not based on any actual facts, right? There's a lot of people who believe that Shawn Porter was going to be the one to beat Crawford until they fought each other. After they fought each other, the people who believed that realized that they was wrong in that belief, right? And vice versa. There's a lot of people thought that Shawn Porter was going to beat Errol Spence until Errol Spence fought him and beat him. He cleared all doubt as it relates to that, right? So, you know, the only way we're going to know, they got to fight each other. That's it. That's all I'm saying. She said they was praising Big Nello at the plant. Now they turned on him real quick after he ain't staying with the PBC. Hey, nah, man. Big Nello, the face of boxing, bro. He said great. He say great boxer are great. He say great boxer are great. But if you don't like them, they ain't. That's the problem. Yeah, well, you know, people gonna push whatever narrative there is, and that's just how it is. Will says, "I'm sorry, coach, I just don't see it happening." I said the same thing. I don't see it happening. But you know, I'm trying to be positive now. I'm trying to be positive. I did say that. I said that the PBC don't took too many L's this year from their top fighters. They lost belts, and Spence Crawford just beat Porter. And Al Heyman and them is not going to let that fight happen, right? That's what I said. I did say that, and I kind of, you know, but I thought about it. I thought about it. I say, even if I did believe that, what is my responsibility as a boxing content creator? Do I want to see this fight? Yes. What was the biggest obstacle? They said it was Bob Arum. So what's different now? Bob Arum is not the obstacle anymore. So since Bob Arum is not the obstacle anymore, guess what? There's no reason why that fight shouldn't happen. Shout out to the Queen, Nick Rich. She said, what up, coach? What it do, chat? Yeah, what it do, Nick? Retro says, I agree with you, coach. You see what I'm saying? So that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Just says, coach, do you think Boots gets a title shot next year? Bro, I'm not going to lie to you, bro. What I know about the sport of boxing, it's going to be real hard for Boots, bro. Real hard for Boots. Sorry about that. Get rid of that. It's gonna be real hard for Boots. The only way Boots get a title shot, bro, Boots is gonna have to align himself with one of the power brokers in the sport of boxing. Unless he could just keep fighting these guys, knocking these guys down, and then get into a mandatory position. And then once he get into a mandatory position, then he can press whoever he wants to press in order to get that belt. To be honest with you, he said, get that title shot. But when you're not affiliated with the Al Heymans, the top ranks, the match rooms and stuff like that, it's kind of hard unless you're affiliated with the power broker who can actually go in there and make it happen for you. And then Boots is very talented. It's a high risk, low reward fighting him right now. So you won't see Crawford or Spence fighting him right now. Not saying that they won't beat him, but it's a chance that they probably can't beat him. If they won't beat him, who knows? But you know, he doesn't have a belt. And when you're like, Crawford is 34 years old, right now you're trying to cash out right now. You know, you do all the hard work and you're still trying to become undisputed. These guys still got to fight each other. Crawford and Spence, they still got to fight each other. So Boots gonna get his turn. He has to wait his turn though. He has to wait his turn. Nick Rich says I had to leave my Dallas Cowboys chat. Retarded Cowboys fans on suicide watch after they lost. You know, man, the Cowboys okay. Kelly Boxing says Blue's only saying things like that now because of what LB did to him. I don't know. I don't know why he's doing it. Kelly Boxing. I don't know. I don't know what's in the brother's head, but I understand where you're coming from. But what I want to do, Kelly Boxing. What I want to do, my brother, is I want to see the best fights, man. And at the end of the day, I don't want to discourage these fights from happening. I want to be able to put out some positive energy if I can, as much as I possibly can do, in order to make this happen, so we can see the good fights next year. That's all I want. That's all I care about. I don't care about the size of the street. I don't care who your favorite fighter is. I just want to see these guys fight. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe, hit the like button. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe, hit the like button. Please do that. It helps us out a lot. And I think if we can push that narrative, guys, don't worry about the fanboys. Don't worry about the trolls. They are going to do what they're going to do. And I want to end this in this show on this note. You know, to all of the content creators out there, I understand how difficult it is being a content creator on the YouTube streets. Me, I have only been doing this for 11 months. As I said before, I am standing on the shoulders of those who came before me, who laid the groundwork, like the blood boxing, retro boxing and documentaries, the Nestor Gibbs, the Boxing Voice, the LDBC, the Trill Boxing, the 7-8 Sports, the Dantes, the Fanons, the Trills, all of these guys, the Sporting Icons, all of these guys, the Showbiz, all of these guys who came before me, I'm standing on their shoulders. Now, you guys know I talk a lot of shit. I do. I talk a lot of shit. I do. So a lot of stuff that people shoot my way, I don't feel bad about it. That's why I tell you, my moderators, don't block anybody if they say anything bad about me. Because when you dish it, you got to know how to take it, right? But I'm standing on their shoulders, facts. Irregardless of whether I agree with everything they say or not is irrelevant. But what I will do, I will respect those who came before me. I owe them that much, because if it wasn't for them, I probably wouldn't be here. So what I want to do is this. The D-Styles out there, it's a bunch of them. It's too many to name. Too many to name right now. The DT3s, it's too many to name. I don't have a list of them. Maybe we'll do a runoff. Maybe we'll do a runoff on the next show. You see what I'm saying? But, I got a great deal of respect for those guys. You know what I mean? I know this shit ain't easy. I know that sometimes when you be looking at the comments, you be in a good mood, and then you see something trolls say, and they piss you off, and they throw off the entire show. I get it. I get it. Hey, I watch everybody's stuff now. I watch everybody's stuff. And as much as I can. And I see people go off and snapping, and I know what they feel like. I gotta smoke 2 joints just to do my show. Literally, I gotta smoke 2 joints just to do my show. I have to. There's no way I can get through a show without snapping. You know what I mean? So it is what it is, right? But salute to everybody, man. Keep your head up. Keep doing your part, guys. That's all I got to say, man. It ain't, everybody ain't got to agree or whatever the case may be, man. But from this point forward, guys, I want us to come together, man, close ranks, and let's make these good fights happen, man. We want to see the Canelos. We want to go. Listen, this is what we need to be doing next, though. Making sure that we get this fight with Crawford and Spence, but also we need to be putting up. This is a shout out to everybody in the state of Texas. We need to be pulling up on Jamal Charlo and letting him know we don't want to hear this. Hold on. Where is it? Wait a minute. Hold on, guys. Hold on. We don't want to hear this right here. We don't want to hear this from Jamal Charlo. I don't want to hear hold on. I don't want to hear this. I don't want to hear, Jamal Charlo dismisses fan. The fan asks him what's up with when you gonna fight David Benavidez, and Jamal Charlo quote. This is a quote now. I need to find this actual interview. Why fight Benavidez? I'm rich. Jamal Charlo is dismissive towards fighting David Benavidez. Why? If you're not going to fight the other champions in your division, and you were willing to move up to 168, if the Canelo fight was there for you to take, why not fight David Benavidez? Now, from a business standpoint, I get it. Why would I give up my belt at middleweight to move up to super middleweight in order to fight a guy who doesn't have a belt? He has nothing to gain from that. He is right about that. So I'm not going to tear Jamal Charlo down for that. Shout out to Hector Garcia for dropping that $2 bam super chat on your boy.
Hey, Leroy.
Super chat received.
Playtime's over, boy.
He said Boots going to cherry pick Bud and Errol. He said Boots going to cherry pick, but listen, I don't think Bud and Errol are nobody's cherries. You cut that out, man. I don't see that. But so I do understand that. I do understand that. That, hey, if you move up to fight David Benavidez, he doesn't have a belt. You have nothing to gain from that. But my thing is this here, because you talk so much shit about David Benavidez, you kind of compelled now to fight this guy. But if you're not going to fight him, Jamal needs to stay at middleweight division, and he needs to fight Andrade. If Andrade's style is boring, you don't like his style, I beat him, I do this and do that, why not take his belt? Say, you know what, I do want to become a unified champion because my brother Jamal, my brother Jamel Charlo is a unified junior middleweight champion. So I want to follow the example of my brother Jamel Charlo and fight, try to unify my division. And this is what I'm talking about. Let's go here, man.
I'm sorry?
160 is my weight division. I want to unify. I want to get Golovkin in the ring. I want to bring him to Houston. You know what I'm saying? I want to get Canelo out here to Houston. If they really to come down to 160, this is my weight division.
So now, he said that he want to unify. He want to unify his division. Let's hear that one more again.
I'm sorry?
160 is my weight division. I want to unify. I want to get Golovkin in the ring. I want to bring him to Houston. You know what I'm saying? I want to get Canelo out here to Houston. If they really to come down to 160, this is my weight division.
Now, and let's hear the soundbite that he said about David Benavidez.
If Benavidez can make 160, we can do it. If we can kind of catch weight in between 160 and 168. Benavidez is a 168 pounder that hasn't made the weight. He has no title. He has nothing to offer me. So that's why people keep mentioning Canelo and Golovkin, the higher stakes. I will fight Benavidez. All right, he's no problem to me. They talk a lot, strong. I'm here and that, but it's different when you get in there. You got to figure something out. Man, don't listen to it. Hey, fans, y'all keep the lock. We got bigger things in store.
See, this is the problem that I have, right? When you shout out to Deborah, she said, I appreciate your show today, coach. Good contacts, you're being fair, and you're talking about real boxing. That's the type of channel that I like to listen to. Keep up the good work. And I want to stay focused on that. I want to stay focused right there. That's why I want to stay focused at right there, Deborah. But I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that. You know, bro, like, you know, come down, fight me at a catch weight of David Benavidez. But then right here, you're quoted as saying that, why fight Benavidez? I'm already rich. I don't, come on, man. Like, this the type of, now, if Jamal Charlo really said that's a duck move. That's ducking. Now, that's ducking 168 because, but to be fair to Jamal, because I'm trying to be fair now, it's a duck move now because you don't want to talk shit about Benavidez. Now you're saying something, now you're changing your tune, but he doesn't really gain anything by moving up. But I don't know, man. I still want to see the goddamn fight because you don't talk shit about this boy, so you need to fight him. So I can't count for Jamal Charlo. I'm trying to be as fair as possible, but you talked all this shit about this dude. I can't. No, you got to fight this guy. You got to fight this guy. He said that sound like the LDBC talking about EJ. No. This is Big Damon. This is Jamal Charlo's talking about David Benavidez. I just don't like you sending mixed signals. And if you're not gonna fight the guy, damn, at least fight the other champions in your weight class. That's all I'm saying, right? I don't want to see you fighting no more Juan Montiels and all that shit there. If you is really a lion, right? This is my only thing about the Charlo and Jamal Charlo. And bro, like some people think I don't like this dude. I really like Jamal Charlo. What frustrates me with him is you do talk all this shit and I get it. He's from Houston, so you got a lot of people in Houston rock with the Charlos. But you're telling me this guy, Canelo ducked this dude, right? You're telling me Canelo ducked this guy. He ran from Canelo and this and that. Canelo ran from him. Okay, fine. But then this guy is moving funny style. He's moving funny style. He won't even fight other champions in his division. And now he called out David Benavidez. He won't fight the dude. And he'll fight Canelo. Let's see this one more again.
I'm sorry?
160 is my weight division. I want to unify. I want to get Golovkin in the ring. I want to bring him to Houston. You know what I'm saying? I want to get Canelo out here to Houston. If they really to come down to 160, this is my weight division.
That's crazy. You feel me? Shout out to Jamie Nieto for dropping that quarter of a bam dub on your boy.
Hey, Leroy.
Super chat received.
Playtime's over, boy.
He said this dude is delusional to think that Canelo's going to come down 2 weight classes and he's going to dictate where the fight is going to. Man, listen, hey, come on, man. I'm just, come on. You got to be reasonable, dog. That's all I'm saying, man. He says, David Benavidez is like Crawford was. He may not have fought everyone, but he did, but who he did, he roasted. Okay. Shout out to Deborah Booker. She says that, Coach, do you agree the boxing is all about belts and money? I just want to know what you think. I heard a fight or say that before. You heard a fighter say that before. You know what, Deborah? I think the way boxing is right now. So I'm going to tell you guys some real stuff. Social media is very, very powerful, and I think it's a gift and a curse, Deborah, to me, because what happens is you have certain fighters. You got fighters like Terence Crawford. He hears a lot of stuff that's being said about him and stuff like that. He take that shit personal. He holds it in and use it as a grudge, right? And then you have other fighters who, they try to live the lifestyle of a rapper and stuff like that, and they're going to believe in a lot of hype and stuff that they're reading on social media, and they read stuff that gets them offended as well. So they're like, okay, I want to be like Floyd. I don't want to lose, but I want that notoriety. I need to make the most money. So they want to make the most money. This is where the money comes in at. They want to make the most money while taking the least amount of risk. So this is where the matchmaking comes in at, Deborah, when, okay, we're going to put our top guy, champion, in the ring with this guy, but the way we're going to match it up, this guy automatically know he's the B side or the C side. So everything's going to be set up to where our top fighter should win. So you're going to make $1.5 million to fight this guy, and you don't have to worry about, you don't have to worry about taking too much of a hell of a risk, because this fighter that you're fighting is really not on your level. And then these guys, they'll take that little money they made or whatever, and then they make it seem like it's bigger than what it is. And I think social media is the worst thing that could have happened to these fighters, to be honest with you. And it's all about the money and the belts. The belts give you leverage. Once you win the championship belt, Deborah, it gives you the leverage to negotiate. I'm a champion. So now that I'm a champion, I can demand more money at the table when it comes to negotiation. So I totally agree with that. Shout out to Jamie Nieto for dropping that quarter of a bam dub on your boy.
Hey, Leroy.
Super chat received.
Playtime's over, boy.
He say, sound like Errol when he avoids every question about Bud, saying why he at my fight and gets up and leaves when Bud gets the KO. See, this is the thing. Errol Spence and Terence Crawford have egos, right? Errol Spence and Terence Crawford, they don't hate each other. They have each other's phone numbers. They're probably talking on the phone right now, right? I think it's everybody that's on the outside that's feeding everything, and Errol sees everything, and Crawford sees everything, and he's mad, he's in his feelings, Spence is in their feelings, and then if you pro Spence, then it's like F Crawford, and if you pro Crawford, it's like L Spence, and it's not conductive. This is why I say that Crawford Spence no more beef in the title of my show. They need to fight each other. Put their egos aside. I think that these two young men need to go in the room together, talk it out, and say, look here, man, what's the problem? And they sit back and talk it out. Because Errol Spence is a good guy. Terence Crawford is a good guy. Right? And I don't like how Errol Spence lives his lifestyle when he's not fighting, but that's neither here nor there. That's between him, right? And that's his decision. But these are two good guys. I just want to see the goddamn fight. At the end of the day, you know what I mean? I don't want to see no.
But this ball been taking the easy matches. Fight another ball.
I don't want to see that from Jamal Tullo. I don't want to see that from Jamal Tullo. He said it's all about matchmaking to keep the records intact.
But this ball been taking the easy matches. Fight another ball.
Every time I hear that sound, my boy. Shout out to Clubber Lane, man. Hey, okay. Shout out to Clubber Lane, man. True. Yeah. He says, if you are a top class fighter, no one wants to fight you. Just look at Crawford, Boo Boo Andrade, Boost. They struggle to get the other champions. The match. It's all about the matchmaking, man, and stuff like that, man. But I think that of course, I was very pessimistic. I'm not going to lie, but at the end of the day, guys, now that I think about it, Bob Arum is out of the way. We should be able to get this fight. Al Heyman is a very powerful guy in the sport of boxing. If anyone can make this happen, he can. So I'm going to be hopeful, and we're going to push the fights. Teofimo fight is coming up. I'm going to talk about Teofimo and Cambosos, and I'm going to do my part, guys. I look at you guys as my New Media Today USA Boxing family. Shout out again to all of the boxing content creators. People who watch us have no idea how hard this shit is. It's not easy. You know what I mean? As soon as I get off this show, I have to go do me some research to see what I'm going to talk about tomorrow.
To this day.
So I have some stuff in the cut, though. We're going to have a damn good show. So anyway, let's wrap it up, guys. We're going to go ahead and do this OJ Jew-Man style. OJ Jew-Man style. Damn, we got a lot of people, a lot of names to look out. Shout out to my brother Retro Boxing, the documentaries. Hey, okay. Shout out to the Queen Lisa Bells. Hey, okay. Shout out to the Queen Bless 365. Hey, okay. Shout out to the Queen Nick Rich. Hey, okay. Shout out to the Queen Deborah. Deborah as well. Shout out to her. Hey, okay. Shout out to that sister, man. Shout out to True Talk with Anthony Evans. Let's give everybody a shout out who called too. Shout out to Sam from Portland. Shout out to no, sorry about that. That was yesterday. What's today? Shout out to Philly. Shout out to Al from Philly. Shout out to Troy Graham from Baltimore. Shout out to Arthur Hawkins from Maryland. Shout out to Anthony from Brooklyn. Hey, okay. Shout out to Pop-Off from Jersey. Shout out to Don from Pittsburgh. Hey, okay. Shout out to Alex from Dallas, Texas. Shout out to Cesar Castro from Mexico. Shout out to Ken from the ATL. And shout out to Richard from California. Hey, okay. Yes, sir. Let's do this, man. Let's do this. Shout out to Jamie Nieto. Hey, okay. For dropping that quarter of a bam dub on your boy.
Hey, Leroy.
Super chat received.
Playtime's over, boy.
He said, hey, coach, I was just about to get you to hit me up with the Clubber Lane on ACP ACP roundtable. Oh, yeah, I was over there the other night. No, not too long ago. Shout out to Jeff Lucietta. Hey, okay. Shout out to King Cobra. Hey, okay. Shout out to my brother Retro Boxing and Documentaries. Shout out to the Queen Nick Rich. Hey, okay. Shout out to Just Looking. Hey, okay. Shout out to Victor Torres. Hey, okay. Shout out to the Queen Bless 365. 300. Hey, okay. Shout out to Anthony Evelyn. Shout out to Lito Rawls. Hey, okay. 365. Shout out to Pat Royd in the building. Hey, okay. Shout out to Hector Garcia. Hey, okay. Shout out to Paul Evans and shout out to Ava. Hey, okay. Shout out to Killy Boxing. What's going on, fam? Hey, okay. Shout out to Major Key Boxing who was here earlier. Shout out to my brother Shelton Moore who was here as well. Hey, okay. Shout out to Pop Off Novienta Tres Boxing. Hey, okay. Shout out to Matt. Shout out to Rob Rib Shows. Shout out to Punch Perfect Boxing. Hey, okay. Shout out to the Queen Lisa Bells once again. Shout out to Steven 47. Hey, okay. Shout out to Wendell Jackson. Shout out to Best Life. Shout out to Javon Soto. I know I talk fast, guys. Trust me, I've been talking like this all my life. All right. Shout out to Damian Bennett. Hey, okay. Shout out to DC Nardo. Hey, okay. Shout out to the Queen Bless 365 for the third time. Hey, okay. Shout out to Graham Taylor. Shout out to King Nat. Shout out to Tyson Fields. Shout out to Drummond Full Live. Shout out to Anthony Evelyn. Shout out to Thomas Jones, Graham Taylor, King KO. Hey, okay. Shout out to King Cobra, DC Nardo. Shout out to Matt. Shout out to, hold on, guys. I want to make sure I get everybody. Before we shut the show down. I owe you guys that much. Shout out to Triunfo. I guess I'm saying it right. Shout out to Graham Taylor. Shout out to oh man, Javon Soto, Egg Shape Form. Let's see. Want to make sure I get everybody. Raw Dog. Oh, shout out to Wes Smith and Wes. He was here early as well. My brother Diallo Huggy was here. Hey, okay. Shout out to Chris Carr. Shout out to, if I forget you, please forgive me, man. To make sure I don't forget you, please leave a comment now so I can see it before I leave. Shout out to the Outlaw Pugilist. Shout out to Tommy Bermudez. Shout out to Matt. Shout out to I said Raw Dog already. Shout out to saying the same name, so I might. Shout out to Deontay Walker. Shout out to who else we have? Boston George. Shout out to Deborah Booker. Shout out to the Queen Deborah Booker. Hey, okay. Shout out to Javon Soto. Shout out to the is it Big Demon or Big Demon? I don't know which one. I would like to say Big Demon. If we say Big Demon, the notorious B.I.G. Shout out to King Cobra, King K.O., Adrian.
Hey, okay. But this ball is taking the easy matches. Fight another ball.
Shout out to Wendy. But every time, boy, every time. Every time. Shout out to Tommy Bermudez. Shout out to Boston Jorge George. Shout out to who else we got, man? Who else we got in the building, man? I think I got everybody. I think I got everybody, man. If I forgot you, man, please forgive me. Shout out to, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe, hit the like button. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe, hit the like button. Shout out to everyone who's listening to this podcast on Amazon Music and Spotify. Shout out to everyone who's watching this podcast on Facebook and Twitter. Shout out to Steve Kim as well. Shout out to Steve Kim, Mario Lopez and the boys. All of the content creators, man. You know, LDBC, Dante, even though I call him Dante Race Bait Nation, because everything he does is about race. Everything. Woo! Ness, all of the top dogs. You know, my main man, Retro Boxing and Documentaries. I stand on the shoulders of all of those guys. You know, Sporting Icons, Kurt, UGC Flame, Moni Brown, D Style, G Funky and the boys. All of those guys, Lady Shannon, yeah, you man, I think me and her started around the same time. But yeah, you know, just all of those guys who started, man, you guys helped make me a better content creator. Fred Barbershop Conversation, even though I think Fred is crazy, but that's neither here nor there. I watch everybody now. Now I watch everybody, and I learn a little something. Mark Nash and the boys, Major Key Boxing. List goes on and on and on. I can literally do a show and we won't end this damn show. Shout out to Melvin Everett, Peter Varnarks, Jamie Nieto, Boston George, Jerry E. Pabalin TV, the Queen Nick Rich, Pugilism, Thomas Jones, Fanon as well. You know, I don't agree with a lot of stuff you say, but him, Trail Boxing as well, 7-8, Blue, all of those guys. I'm standing on everybody's shoulders right now. And you know, we're doing our thing over here. Shout out to Wendell Jackson, Pop Off, Pugilism. I think that's it, man. J Mills, Steel Shelf, Adrian, Rob Rib Shows, Hector Garcia, Jerry E, Paul Evans, Ava, Arthur Hawkins, George H, Adrian, Martin Ramos, Best Life, Graham Taylor, Troy Graham was in the building as well, Rob Rib Shows, Steel Shelf, King Cobra, Javier Martinez, let's see, AV Sounds, what's going on, fam? Southpaw Killer, Caesar Castro. He said we got off on the wrong foot. I think he's blocked. I think I blocked him. I'm unblock him. I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt. Let's see, Adrian, Southpaw Killer, Jessica. She said, "What time do you start?" Shout out to Jessica for being shout out to the Queen Jessica for being a new subscriber. I really appreciate that. I'll be on tomorrow, 3 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. I'm 7 days a week, 3 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Well, I know sometimes I take off on Saturday. I know Thursday is Thanksgiving, so I'm not doing the show on Thursday. I'm not doing the show on Thursday, but I may drop a video, but I'm not doing the show on Thursday. But 7 days a week, I'm on 3 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. If it's a fight week, I'll be on that day, right? Let's see. Little Caesars. He says, Cam talk too much. Shout out to Cam talk too much. Hey, shout out to Chuck Supremacy. Hey, boy, that's it funny, bro. Hey, what's Cam? You talking about Cam Newton? I don't know which one you talking about. I think that's it, man. James Hickey. Shout out to all of the guys. DT3, Raphael out there in the UK. Punch Perfect Boxing, just all of the content creators, guys, all of the content creators. Shout out to all of you guys. You know I'm a handful. I am a handful. You know, trust me, what I got to deal with me every day. I deal with me every day, so I know how much of a handful I am. Shout out to Corey Bradley. And that's it. I think I got everybody, guys. Jose Rendon, the Queen Deborah Booker, and Carl Belton, and John McSmith. Other than that, that's it. That's our boy, Coach Malachi Williams, signing out. New Minute Today, USA Boxing. I'll see you guys tomorrow, 3 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe, hit the like button. Shout out to everyone who's listening to this podcast on Spotify and Amazon Music. Shout out to Facebook. Shout out to Twitter. Steve, Kim, and the boys. Other than that, that's it, man. I'll holler at you guys tomorrow, 3 o'clock. Don't meet me there. Beat me there. Peace.
Man, I'm out of here, bro. Let's go.